Hello guys, this is a test. This is my first time streaming here on this channel. Let me hear from you if everything is going okay. I'll do my own test here. Hello guys, this is a test. This is my first time streaming. Is the mic good enough here on this channel? Let me hear from you if everything is going okay. I think it is. All right. I'm not sure if this channel. Let me be watched from you if everything is going okay. 1, 2, 3, or 10 people, or maybe more than that. Test I will just start right now. This is a test. Is this sound my first time? It seems that streaming the mic going all right here on this channel. Let me hear from. All right. I'm not sure if. Is this, let's see, hello? There is a delayed echo. All right, I think it's because the desktop audio was on. Now is okay, Caleb? I think it is okay now. I'm not hearing anymore. I'm not hearing any echo anymore. So let's start this. This is my first stream here on YouTube, and I hope this all goes well. I think it will be. All right, we already have 10 people watching. How are you guys? So this is a channel devoted to Dredge, and tonight it will be the Dredgeful Night. I'm calling the live streaming this way because it will be always a live stream devoted to Dredge, not only in Legacy, but of course I am a Legacy player in my heart, but now I'm inclined to also test and play Modern, and soon I will start to play other formats as well. And I'm inclined to play Modern because this card alone, the Cephalic Coliseum, this card is awesome. And I think you all know this card, right? But this is the first time that we can play Cephalic Coliseum in Modern. So I'm really excited to try this build. This is something like Sultai Dredge in Modern. We have 17 lands, and this is also a new card, Sink into Stupor or Soporific Springs. This is a land when we need a land, and this is also a useful spell when we need one. This is a bounce spell that we can put into our main deck. And I think Bloodghast will be really interesting here with Life from the Lawn instead of other cards. Oh, we have more people coming here. Greetings from Finland. Hello, Jackington. Hello. It's already 2:20 a.m., but gotta stay up to see some Dredge action. Thank you for being here. All right, so I'm not sure if I'm going to start the stream by playing Modern, or if I want to play this instead. This is the 8-pimp Dredge, something like that. So Psychic Frog is a new addition from this new Modern Horizons. And this is quite interesting because we already have something that does quite the same effect in Putterdimp. Putterdimp is a classic card in Dredge in Legacy. And we don't have this card in Modern, unfortunately. But in Legacy, this is interesting because we can discard cards, and this is a 1/1 or 2/2 flyer. And usually our threats come later in the game, right? We have Poxwalkers, we have Ichorid, we have zombies that will be created by Breach from Below when our creatures die. But if you have Putterdimp and Psychic Frog, this is interesting because our enablers also are threats. And Putterdimp usually as a 2, 3, or 4 off is usually not enough to be reliable as a threat. Sometimes it will be only Ichorid food. And in older editions from our deck, Putterdimp, if you don't have it in your starting hand, or if you have something better, right? If you have only one land and need to find other lands, you will not start with Putterdimp if you have a Careful Study or Faithless Looting in other builds. But now, if we have 8 cards from a similar effect from flyer creatures that can also discard, and Psychic Frog is amazing because Of course, it costs 2 mana, but it can enter the battlefield. You can immediately discard your cards if you need to. You can discard bridges, you can discard dredgers, you can discard even like Cabal Therapy if you need to resolve a Cabal Therapy in the same turn. And then if this Psychic Frog stays alive, they can push your dredging action in the following turns by drawing cards every time you do a combat damage to a player or Planeswalker, which is quite interesting. Sometimes you need to kill a Planeswalker and you will draw a card anyways. So I think this is a good starting point. Of course, there are other cards that will be displayed here tonight. In Legacy, in this build of Legacy, I already have a Sink into Stupor here as well. And we also have 3 copies of Harbinger of the Seas. So this is just a bet I'm doing. I'm not sure if this card will do great. I think it is. Let's put all the cards here of the sideboard together. I'm not sure if Harbinger is slow enough. It is probably too slow. I'm sorry. It is probably too slow, but I really want to test this card because I have other ideas in mind. Maybe in the future we can have some ways to accelerate this card and to play, maybe on turn 2 at least. So I want to test this. Maybe we have some action of this card against lands, because sometimes a lands player will have a starting hand full of answers, and we can just deploy our lands and cast Harbinger on turn 3, and maybe this is enough to at least hold a little bit more against lands strategy, because lands is always one of our worst matchups, right? So yeah, this is just something that I want to test. I'm not sure if this is worse, better or worse than, for example, Leyline of Sanctity. Leyline of Sanctity is a card that I love to play against Bojuka Bog, Endurance, but Leyline of Sanctity usually, in my recent gameplay, is a card that usually is just a target of the target of a Boseiju, and you cannot trust in turn 0 Leyline of Sanctity like in the older days. So yeah, of course the Jackington, but this is something that we will not do immediately, right? Sometimes you just need to do something. And Cephalic Coliseums is great against any deck, of course, but you do not want to crack a Cephalic Coliseum into an open green mana. For example, if your opponent is holding Crop Rotation, Cephalic Coliseums will not do anything. And those decks lately also play with Urza Saga, and Urza Saga can just put Pithing Needle targeting aiming Cephalic Coliseum anyways. So more often Cephalic Coliseum is just a card that you cannot trust against lands. So Harbinger is just a turn 3 play. Maybe this is good, maybe this is awful, but I want to test because this is exciting to test new cards. Oh, Michelle Olsen is here. Good night. Olá, tudo bom, Michelle? Seja bem-vinda. Welcome. So let's start this. What do you think, guys? Can I start playing a Legacy, or can I start playing Modern? I think I'll start playing Modern because I told on Discord that I would be playing Modern tonight for the first time here on stream, and I want to test. I think I'm quite excited to play both decks, but playing Modern for me is a new format for me, so I'm kind of inclined to start playing Modern. So let's see. Yeah, and blowing up sagas, right? So this is a nice upside, of course. We have a pitch in Faccia. Did I say it right, Faccia? From Italy, I believe. So let's start here our gameplay. I will start playing Modern. Can I? So let's start this card here. Oh, and of course we have a Static Prison. Static Prison is one of the best answers, not only for Dredge, but for many other decks. And Static Prison is a card that will be, I believe, will be played as a 4-off in any deck that can play white. This is not one of those decks, but I had a Static Prison here because I just copied some cards from other strategy that I was building here before finishing this lone dredge. So I cannot play Static Prison because we are not a white deck. So I'll just include other dismissal effects in the other bounce spells. But Static Prison will be a great addition to any deck that can play white. And in Rainbow builds, you probably will add 4 copies of Static Prison in your sideboards from now on. So let's put some Stern Dismissals here. Yeah, Caleb, this was just a mistake because before finishing this list, this was yesterday, and I was thinking, well, maybe I'll start playing Sultai, or maybe I'll start playing Rainbow, and in the end, my heart decided to play Sultai because I believe this list will play Cephalic Coliseum better than the Rainbow list. The Rainbow list tries to play not only Cephalic Coliseum, but also Ox of Agonas and other red enablers, and it's kind of a 4-color approach, and sometimes you need to have a blue mana to activate Cephalic Coliseum for 1 blue mana, but you also need 2 red mana to activate Ox, and sometimes you cannot do both. So this list tries to do one of probably the best or one of the best approaches to play reliably Cephalic Coliseum on turn 2, and also have something interesting to do on turn 3. We have 2 copies of Deep Analysis here, and I'll start playing 2 copies of Deep Analysis, but I also want to test at some point Brain Surge. It's a new card that it is kind of a breakthrough mixed with Brainstorm in Modern. It's a game-winning play, but before playing Brain Surge, I just want to test 2 Deep Analysis. And that's it. One more card here. Let's put a Curious Dismissal as an answer to enchantments. It could be anything here. Maybe we can just include other answers, but maybe this is fine to start. I'm not a Modern magician. I'm playing Modern for the first time this week. So if you guys, we have 20 Dredge players here watching this stream already. So if you want to help me at some moments here, I will be really grateful, because of course I'm a Dredge player, but I'm not the Modern format is not something that I am familiar with. So maybe if you had something to just push my attention into it, this can be interesting. So yeah, let's start with Modern. This is my first Modern league in Magic, in Magic Online at least. So yeah, the deck is ready. And this is a new format, and we already have people with trophies here. This is something unusual. We already have people with trophies. Let me just put this window right there. Now it's fine, right? Yeah. Well, let me check the chat here. Daniel Cooler, are only 5 fetch target common to see in Modern? In this case, Daniel, no, but this is an unusual deck, right? Dredge is unusual. So in this case here, we just want to put more cards into our graveyard. Let me show you the deck here again. So this can be here. So in this case, we're playing Dredge, right? So you want to achieve threshold. We want to achieve 7 cards in our graveyard as soon as you can. So you can activate reliably a Cephalic Coliseum on turn 2. So having a fetch land is really important to achieve that in Modern, because we don't have the best enablers in Modern compared to Legacy. So Thumbscour, for example, will put only 5 cards, 6 with the Thumbscour itself. It it will put 6 cards into your graveyard. If you have a fetch land, this is already 7 cards. But if you don't have a fetch land, if you have already a breeding pool or water grave, this is only 6. So having more fetch lands than usual is a good plan, so we can start doing our thing on turn 2 as soon as possible. Of course, sometimes we don't have Cephalic Coliseum on turn 2, but we have other turn 1 enablers, and this list tries to go like closer to the ground. So we have 12 turn 1 enablers instead of 8 turn 2 enablers like other older lists. So yeah, that's it. Oh, more and more people coming here. Thank you guys. Thank you for your encouragement. This is my first Modern League, will be. So let's play a league match right now. And please, Modern players, I ask you kindly to help me when you think I need some help here. Oh, okay, time to focus. Let's go. So, okay. We are on the draw here. I think we can do better. We have one turn 1 action. We don't have nothing guaranteed for turn 2. We have 2 dredgers in our starting hand, but we prefer, with other gaze, we prefer to have dredgers in our deck, not in our starting hand. So I will mulligan this hand. Okay, this is already better. We have a fetch land and we have Tom Scour, so we can have Threshold on turn 2. We don't have the crazy start with. Oh, let me just rearrange this here, maybe just to go together with my face. Okay, we don't have the nuts here, but this is probably good enough to start, so I'll keep this. And I'll put Narcomoeba back, of course. Having fetch lands, more fetch lands is also good to in our deck to shuffle our Narcomoebas after shuffle back our Narcomoebas into the deck or other cards after we had a mulligan. Okay, my opponent is playing a Surveil land, and they like what they saw. And we draw maybe a Cephalic Coliseum. No, but another Tom Scour is okay. So let's start with our fetch land, of course. I already grabbed my green mana, so we can guarantee our life from the lawn after turn 2. Yes, I would like to pay 2 life. And now, Tom Scour, I would like to mill 5 cards. Okay, we already have Dredgers, and we have a Cephalic Coliseum to grab with our life from the lawn on turn 2. And then our Cephalic Coliseum can discard the deep analysis, so we have something to do on next turn. Let's see what our opponent is playing. Oh, it's crab time. All right, my opponent is milling me. This is mill. I'm not sure if I want to dredge so aggressively anymore. We want to put some creatures into play as soon as possible. All right, my opponent now deciding, do I crack this immediately? Will I help my opponent here? Maybe I just wait a little bit. Okay, time to put 15 cards after sideboarding into the deck. So I will dredge 5 here. I think we already... Okay, 2 Bloodghast. This is good. So I'll play this Water Grave, and both Bloodghasts will come into play. And I think I will... Let's see what my opponent... Oh, my opponent will try to Surgical Extraction. They will Surgical Extraction because I'm not playing in a counterspell deck. So... Yeah, okay. No Bloodghasts. Let's wait for this activation. If these Bloodghasts were Narcomoebas instead, I could play another Wood Gaze trying to find a Narcomoeba at instant speed. But yeah, my opponent now knows what I am playing. And alright, so now I believe the better thing I can do is just grab Cephalic Coliseum. No fetch land, no anymore. Because my opponent, Mill in Modern probably have Archive Trap, right? So, well, if they have Archive Trap, they can cast them right now because of this Surgical Extraction. So, let's take 3 lands here. And McNugg's asking me about some standout cards from the new set from a legacy standpoint. Yeah, I believe we have some great cards, but we still don't know if those cards are better than what we already do, right? Of course, we have some great sideboard cards, and we have better answers than before. But Modern Horizons 3 wasn't too kind, too generous on the threat aspect of our deck. We don't have new great threats or new great enablers in Legacy. We have better answers than before. Alright, do my opponent have another Surgical Extraction here? No, they don't. Okay. So now we have 2 1/1 flyers. This is a clock. Unfortunately, we don't have Prized Amalgams yet to enter the battlefield with those Narcomoebas. So yeah, let's pass here. And I don't have anything. My opponent knows that I don't have any counter spells, so I can press F6 here, passing the turn. Okay, Creeping Chill. Creeping Chill is good. And now we have a Prized Amalgam. In case you are not familiar with Creeping Chill, because Creeping Chill is a card that usually doesn't see play in Legacy. Okay, my opponent has Tasha's Hydia's Lothar. Since these exile cards, let's see what they exiled. 3 Creeping Chills, one of them was already triggered. Okay, so we have only 1 extra Creeping Chill. We still have 3 Prized Amalgams and 1 Narcomoeba. 1 Prized Amalgam is here. Okay, I'm not inclined to dredge too much, right? Because my opponent will do this for me. So, do I have a natural draw here? Is this too crazy? My opponent still have 3 cards in hand. Believe it or not, I think we are not favored to win this game here. Because we kind of help our opponent, right? So I can just cast Liquid Imps and Golgari Thugs here. I would like to put this Prized Amalgam into play. So I'll dredge just 3 on purpose, just to not be too aggressive here. Maybe, let's see. Okay, nothing good. I will not fetch anymore. I'll just play the Cephalic Coliseum. Do I just cast Liquid Imp? I'm not sure. Let's attack first. Because we have only 1 Narcomoeba left in our deck. So the chances that we hit a natural Narcomoeba here without losing on the next turn are not high. I can cast Otherworldly Gaze, but my opponent will probably mill some cards, so I cannot leave some good card on top. So I'll just cast a Liquid Imp here. We have we are forcing a turn 4 clock here with 3 flyers. But I don't feel safe here. Of course, my opponent can have only removal spells. I'm not, as I said before, this is my first Modern League. So maybe I can do something here, but I'm not feeling safe. Do I dredge 5? If I dredge 5, this is my last time dredging in this game. Okay, let's dredge 5 here. Okay, we have Narcomoeba. We did our thing. But now my opponent can force me to mill my entire deck easily. They just need another land. They have a Field of Ruin already. So, yeah. We will attack for 3. Yeah, they should have drawn in the lock for the removal or maybe to counter a spell. But I'm just casting these bad creatures, these bad flying creatures. 1/2 flying creature for 3 mana. So this is not something that my opponent will probably want to counter. And that's it. Okay, we have lethal next turn. Of course, my opponent has a blocker, and they will probably activate Field of Ruin here. Okay, we can... I will not put this island into play. This is an extra card in my deck. So I fail to find my basic island. My opponent will cast Visions of Beyond, of course. We have 5 flyers in the air, plus Prized Amalgam. Okay, Surgical Extraction targeting Prized Amalgam. But this costs 2 life from my opponent. Yeah, Kaiser, the classic Dredge plan. Stinkweight beat down. Take that, take that. Every time we just attack with flying creatures and Narcomoebas, it feels like limited gameplay, right? Sometimes we even cast an Narcomoeba for 2 mana. Okay, my opponent won the game. I don't have ways to put cards back into my deck. So yeah, we lost game 1 against Mill. I believe Mill is probably one of the most difficult decks on game 1 for us, because this time they even had a Surgical Extraction in their starting hand. So now against Mill. Yeah, where are my Leyline of Sanctity? I chose to include only dismissal effects, and they are not great against Mill. Guys, are you familiar with milling strategies in Modern? Do I need to answer enchantment or something like that? I don't think we need Wander. Thoughtseize maybe? And Gemstone Caverns. And of course I can include every card here, right? I can include every card here just to force my opponent to have more remaining cards. This is maybe a strategy. I'm not sure if it is a good one without Leyline of Sanctity. So four Thoughtseizes are coming in, of course, and Gemstone Caverns are usually better on the draw. But if I want to include many cards here, maybe I'm talking about going up 60 cards, guys. So not only changing 4 cards or 6 cards or 8 cards, but actually including cards, going up to 60, 65 or maybe 70 cards. What do you think? Oh, Gibbons is here. How are you? So this is our first match in Modern. And I'm not sure we are playing against Mill. We lost our first game. My opponent had 2 Surgical Extractions. And now it was actually close, but my opponent found, after casting 2 Visions of Beyond, my opponent found what they needed. And now I'm thinking if I want to include more, then just include 4 Thoughtseizes and what else. Oh, they have Soul Guide Lantern. Ivan is here. Boa noite, Ivan. Actually, line is not so good against Mill. The key card now say each opponent. Yeah. Going over 60s, as long as you keep your... Alright, so I probably need more lands if I just include more cards here. Okay, let's Deep Analysis is probably not great against Mill, so I'll take both of them. Now we are on the play, right? Maybe just keeping 62 cards with 4 Thoughtseize? 4 Seizes? Yeah, Deep Analysis is good against Tasha's. But just I guess I'll try this. We need to submit the deck. What is our strategy against mill? Because we want to dredge, but we don't want to be super all in, because my opponent can just have great cards to... Okay, this is not a good hand. We will mulligan. My opponent can have... Okay, this is better with the Shriekhorn. If we just admit that my opponent will have ways to dredge, to force us to main our deck, is this too crazy idea to just keep 2 lands and creatures? Is this too crazy? What do you think? So I have a turn 1 land, turn 2 Narcomoeba or Bloodghast, turn 3 maybe finding something else. What do you think? Is this too crazy? Because my opponent will do the job for us, right? What do you think? Against mill, you can cut some enablers and dredgers out because they are going to mill you. Yeah, this is probably good for the future, because now we don't have any more time. What do you think? Is this too crazy? Just keeping lands and creatures from our hand? It's always crazy. Okay, this is just an initiation league, right guys? For me at least. So I could keep this, just waiting for my opponent to do the job for us. And we already have 2 lands. I will keep this. I'll keep this just for... I will put Shriekhorn on the bottom. And let's start like this. This is probably too crazy, right? But yeah, let's just pass the turn. Okay, just a surveil land. They liked what they saw. And we will need 2 black mana soon because of these Bloodghasts. So Watergrave. Yeah, Jackington, I think it is. Let's hope for... Oh, I just paid 2. I was distracted to seeing the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Those 2... Oh, well, my opponent will not win by doing damage, right? I was distracted reading your messages here. Let's pay attention. This is a streaming. Live stream. Everything can happen. So, yeah, Thoughtseize is maybe a great draw here. I'm not sure if I want to cast Thoughtseize now if I draw it. Maybe it's just better to cast a Bloodghast. Life from the Loam is good. So we don't have green and black mana, so I think I will... Maybe this Bloodghast can wait. This is a faster clock, but I want green mana to cast this Life from the Loam soon. So let's take Breeding Pool here. Yeah. Yeah, Ivan, I'm not used to fetch Shocklands. And I will not even cast Life from the Loam yet, because my opponent can have Surgical Extraction or something. I will just put my Narcomoeba into play and pass a turn. My opponent did nothing yet. So I think this is an interesting approach, because I saw my opponent casting 2 Surgical Extractions on game 1, and they chose to target my threats. they chose to target Prized Amalgams and Bloodghasts. So since I have at least one Arcomoeba and one Bloodghast here, I think it feels good to guarantee some threats in my hand. Okay, they have Soul Guide Lantern. Joke's on you, I have flyers now. What you gonna do now? Alright, oh, more and more people coming here. Welcome guys, we are already with more than 30 people here. That's great. Since this is my first time streaming here on YouTube, I wasn't sure if we will have more than 5 or 10 people. So I'm feeling great with you guys. Thank you for your support. So now we will draw. Great, this is great. So I don't think my opponent will crack Soul Guide Lantern right now, right? So let's take 3 lands here, paying 2 mana. Okay, and I will play Breeding Pool tapped. No, I would not like to pay to life. And let's attack dealing 1 damage. So my opponent is winning the race, but we have threats in our hand. So my opponent can have Soul Guide Lantern and maybe Surgical Extractions in their hand, but we... Okay, this is a Creeping Chill. Okay, Extirpate. So not only Surgicals, but also this Split Second card. I can press F6 here. Yeah, Kaiser. Kaiser is asking here on our chat about Cephalic Coliseum. This is the biggest addition to Modern. And that's why we are playing Modern first tonight. Because, well, it's Modern Horizons time. So let's start playing Modern. I think I will dredge. Do I dredge? I don't need to dredge. I have many creatures here. I don't need to dredge Golgari Thug right now. I will probably just cast a Prized Amalgam here, and if I have Thoughtseize, even better. So let's draw. Oh, a Thoughtseize! Ding, 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 ding. So let's cast Thoughtseize targeting our opponent. Maybe I should attack first, I'm not sure. But they have only, okay, 2 more Extirpates and 1 Archive Trap. Okay, so I'll take Archive Trap because this way I can fetch and cast a Prized Amalgam, right? And Extirpates are not that good against our awkward game plan. So, yeah, so I'll take Archive Trap. And then I can cast from my hand a Prized Amalgam. Taking our last Water Grave. This time I would like to pay to life. Yes, please. And then we cast Prized Amalgam. This is so weird. Our first Modern match here on this channel is crazy. It's already crazy. Yeah, Jackton, we are paying 2 life to assert dominance against Mill. Yeah, take that, Mill. Okay, they found a land. And nothing too good. Now they will cast Fractured Sanity. So they have 2 Extirpates. We have 2 Prized Amalgams. They have a Soul Guide Lantern. And now we are starting to attack, dealing 4 damage each turn. At some point my opponent will have to block with Crab. This turn I cannot play because okay. I wasn't thinking about a moment like this. We would like to have three black mana to cast a Bloodghast and an Imp, and we have only 2 Water Graves in this build. So maybe we need to put 1 extra black mana. Mill is important to to have this plan against Mill. Okay, so we will cast an Otherworldly Gaze in our upkeep. Let's keep everything, right? So let's keep Coliseum, Loam, and Loam. And I can have a Loam. And now I can play Cephalic Coliseum, why not? So I can have this Bloodghast. I believe my opponent will now... Oh, I should have played Bloodghast first. I'm an idiot. Oh, I'm an idiot. Alright. I knew what my opponent had. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. It's not fine, but it kind of is. We cannot do anything. I will just cast Flyers. I should have cast Bloodghast first. Wah, wah, wah. Okay. Yeah, I don't have Bloodghast anymore. It's fine, guys, it's fine. We can still win this. I'll just put this into play. Modern initiation time. My opponent still has an Extirpate in their hand. And now we will attack dealing 5 damage each turn. My opponent needs to draw something. Visions of Beyond is a good start. Even lands are good draws for my opponent here. Another crab. Oh, a Field of Ruin is a great draw for my opponent. Oh, my opponent let me have Narcomoebas? Really? I believe my opponent missed the moment to crack Soulguide Lantern here. Maybe they pressed F6, forgetting about Narcomoebas. And now my opponent is thinking, oh, I am stupid. Everybody is learning here, right? Alright. So no more graveyard to us. Good news, my opponent cannot extirpate anymore. Of course they can target extirpate targeting one of those bad cards, but this is probably nothing good. Okay, Fracture Sanity, and we have our last Narcomoeba. My opponent let me have it, but this is enough. We will lose right now, and we cannot put anything back into our graveyard here. So let's kill ourselves. Can we? Let's kill ourselves. Oh, can I tap for blue mana? It's Cephalic Coliseum. So yeah, Mill. Mill is kind of great against us. So even if I had lost the Bloodghast play, this wasn't enough. My opponent had whatever they need. Let's play our second match. Oh, okay, let's breathe a little bit. Guys who play Modern here, from our chat, is Modern Mill really competitive right now? I know it is a strategy, but is this tier B deck or something like this? Is something that we really need to think about when building our sideboard options? I remember reading something about the Mill matchup on Discord, and someone I don't remember who was. Someone had this strategy of just including all 15 cards and milling and mulligan until you have only one card in your hand, so your deck is is there with 74 cards, and you just mulligan on purpose until you have only one card in your hand. Oh, this is a great starting hand. We don't want Creeping Chill, but we have 3 turn 1 enablers. We would like to have a second land, but we have 3 turn 1 enablers. Do we keep this? Can we have a natural draw land as a natural draw here? Mew won the first big modern tournament after the release, so there are many on leagues today. Ah, that's why. Alright. Facha said that not that good right now. I think you occasionally see it, but not top tier. Top tier. Alright. Alright. And what about our hand right now, guys? Do I keep this because I have 3 turn 1 enablers? This is kind of a mulligan to 4, right? Of course we have Loam in our hand, so okay, mulligan to 5. Let's not go super harsh on this hand. Can I try a better 6 here? I like to have 3 enablers, but if this Creeping Chill were second land, this was a snap keep for me. Of course we are on the draw. Okay, let's try to do better. Let's mulligan. Okay, this is already better. Not great, but better, because now we have selection. I don't like to have a Creeping Chill in our hand, but I think I'll keep it just because double Otherworldly Gaze. Am I trying to am I playing or thinking too defensively here? Can we try a better 5 than that? I think I'll keep these guys on the draw. I'll keep this. Maybe it is risky, but I'll keep this. Because this is a testing league for me, so I really want to feel what... I want to test what it feels like to have Otherworldly Gaze in your starting hand when you need to find something to get better on turns 2 and 3. Mishra's Bubble. Because this is something that I do a lot in Legacy. But I'm not sure if the Modern deck will respond to me in the same way a Legacy deck does. Blood Crypt. Is this the scam deck? Crit Wraith? Oh, Nethergoyf. This is a new card, in case you don't know it. This is the better Tarmogoyf. It costs only 1 mana, but it only looks at the controller's graveyard, not all the graveyards. So yeah, turn 1, 3/4 card, and it can escape from the graveyard. And my opponent just refilled their hand. We have 18 lands, 17 lands, and 1 land spell. Okay, Bloodghast is not a good draw. So, Thumbscour or Otherworldly Gaze here. Considering that we really need to hit our lands, and our opponent stepped. This black-red deck. I'll crack this immediately for a Watery Grave. But I'll cast Otherworldly Gaze after passing the turn. I want to see more of my opponent's deck. It feels so exciting to play against newer cards. I wasn't sure if I would find this first playing Modern or Legacy, because people in Legacy... oh, a Thoughtseize. Alright, you can take something from my hand. Probably Thumbscour. Yeah, Thoughtseize is maybe something to keep in mind in the future, because if I knew that my opponent had a Thoughtseize, maybe Thumbscour could be my play. But well, this seems that I can cast Otherworldly Gaze 4 times as soon as I find my second land. And my opponent has only one land. So my opponent kept one lander. Alright. Okay. So, let's think for a moment. We already have 2 cards in our graveyard. If I put Shriekhorn, this will be 4 cards. I kind of want everything here, but I cannot have everything. My opponent is stuck on 1 land. This Nethergoyf is a 4/5 already. So... Oh, Facha, you're right. You're right. This is something to keep in mind as a modern player. We want to cast Otherworldly Gaze in our opponent's second main step and not in our end step. You're absolutely right because of Prized Amalgam. Well, so this time this didn't hurt us, but I need to pay attention on this in the future. In Legacy, we will always cast Otherworldly Gaze in our end step, but now in Modern, I want to play better than that. So I don't think I will keep Shriekhorn, because if I play a second Otherworldly Gaze here, I want to keep both lands, especially Cephalic Coliseum. I want to hit our dredgers soon. Of course, I can draw a land. No, this is just too slow. So Shriekhorn will go to the graveyard. And this is too slow. This doesn't trample. Because I can keep a Cephalic Coliseum and Misty Rainforest, Cephalid on top. And then I can cast Otherworldly Gaze from my hand. So I can hide Cephalic Coliseum. And then I cast Otherworldly Gaze. I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 2 more cards, maybe a Dredger. And then I can crack Cephalic Coliseum. I don't think I need to hide Cephalic Coliseum here. I can deal 1 damage to myself. So I'll keep Misty on top and Cephalid on top. What I'm doing here is making sure that I will achieve Threshold on turn 3. And then I can crack Cephalic Coliseum. But not now, next turn. And I want to guarantee my turn 3 land drop. Because we kept a slow hand, I cannot play as this was a fast hand. But I can do the better I can with a slow hand. Maybe my opponent has only removal spells and other discard spells. I already passed the turn. Let's see our chat. TCG Junkie. Yeah, important to remember. Amalgam triggers at the beginning of the end step, so you want to use instant speed mills before the end step. That's right. Absolutely right. So I will stop in my opponent's second main step this time. Red mana, lightning bolt. Alright. Okay, so this will put us to 5. Since we already lose the game next turn if we don't have our Creeping Chills or blockers, I will cast Otherworldly Gaze now with the intention of putting... no, actually I cannot do that. I need 1 extra card in my graveyard. So I'll just cast my Otherworldly Gaze from my hand. Oh, Deep Analysis is good. So graveyard, graveyard. My opponent can play something like 1 mana removal spell for Prized Amalgam. Do they have this option? I'll keep Misty. If I cast Prized Amalgam as a blocker, since we couldn't find what we need. Is this an option here? I believe it is our best shot here in this game. And since my opponent play lightning bolts, I don't think it's wise to go for green. Unfortunately, we already are on 4 life. So just oh, but I would need to tap Cephalic Elysium anyways. Okay, guys. Yeah, but Fatal Push, they need to have they need to activate the Fatal Push second. What is that name? They need to lose something to cast Fatal Push targeting 3 mana creature. Okay, let's play like this. Let's go to 1 is the only thing we can do here, unfortunately. If my opponent wins, they win because we couldn't find our dredgers. And this is something to learn about this deck. Oh yeah, Unholy Hit, 1 mana removal spell. So let's consider and go to our second match, our second game. So do this deck play with Leyline of the Void? Or maybe they have Doughty Voidwalker. One way or another, we can include some bounce spells against them. I don't think we want Nature's Claim here. Do we want our own Thoughtseizes? And Wonder, maybe? Let's say what you told me on last match about how to sideboard here. So we can probably take 1 Loam, right? 1 Dredger is always okay to take. We will be on the play now. I'm not sure if we should sideboard too much. If this deck play with too many void effects. Maybe we can take 1 deep analysis. Let's keep the old frame deep analysis. And a Bloodghast maybe? Since I'm taking 1 life from the Loam. So I can include 3 Stern Dismissals as a tempo play. Do I sideboard anything else? Oh, Stefano is here. Hello, Stefano. Our Miracles King champion. Yeah, Kaiser, without Troll it feels really weird. We have a green Dredge card, but it is a Dredge 3, not a Dredge 6. It's so unfair that Wizards banned so many cards from Modern Dredge. And that's why I'm playing Dredge tonight. Trying to find a good configuration to make Dredge great again in Modern. Okay, let's do just like that. 3 Stern Dismissals as tempo plays, or maybe ways to remove possible Leyline of the Void or Doughty Voidwalker from my opponent's side of the table. Yeah, I would like to play first. Okay, no lands, no keep, unfortunately, because this hand had some potential. Mulligan. Okay, we have Sink into Stupor as a land / spell. We can put Creeping Chill. This is again a slow hand. My opponent kept 7 cards. If I keep this, we have a bounce spell if we need. If we don't need, I just play it and cast Otherworldly Gaze on turn 1. And then Life from the Loam or Otherworldly Gaze on turn 2. Is this too slow? Yeah, Grave Trove did nothing wrong. Yeah. Faithless Looting, yeah, Faithless Looting did something wrong. Hogak did something wrong, but Grave Trove, come on guys. Bridge from Below, guys, no. Come on. Now, do I keep this? Yes or no, guys? What do you think? What's a little Dredge 6 amongst friends? Yeah. Cole died before Gak came out. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll keep this. I'll keep this because we have one answer if we need it. We actually don't need it. Maybe I still keep Sinking to Super in my hand. Because maybe this Polluted Delta here, this first land, find us other things. Maybe I don't need to, because this will enter untapped as long as I pay 3 life, and I will do that now. So the thing about playing this card immediately is that I can decide later what to fetch for this Polluted Delta, right? But since I already have a life from the loan, I probably want to fetch green mana here anyways. So yeah, I can pass a turn here. I don't think my opponent have turn 1. What is the name of the new card? Something that is similar to Stifle? It is something that can counter triggered abilities or spells without color. The Eldrazi effects, of course. Faith Fellowship is asking something. Thoughts on resource denial like Ghost Quarter to slow down the game since you're playing life from the loan? This could be interesting, but what to take from the deck to include effects like this? Dredge, the Dredge package is already pretty tight. In Legacy or in Modern, usually we have something around 4 to 8 cards that we can change here and there, but we almost always need some numbers of enablers. We need some threats, and to include some control elements or tempo plays, we need to take something from the deck. And okay, this is just another Goyf. So now I will do the right thing. I will cast this Otherworldly Gaze on my opponent's second main step. Back Polluted Delta, take this Breeding Pool, untapped. Ouch. And let's cast Otherworldly Gaze, finding some goodies. Please, be good. Okay, Narcomoeba is good. Not so good in this situation, right? But it is good, and we have other lands. I think I'll keep only Polluted Delta. We don't need our second green mana right now. So let's keep Polluted Delta on top. And now we have Narco. Who will win this game? A single 1/1 blue illusion on a Lurgoyf. So Mishra's Bubble will draw a card for our opponent, and we draw our second land. Do I do something immediately? I can cast a Life from the Loam, of course, to put Dredger immediately in. Yeah, I have 2 options here. I can cast Life from the Loam, so I have lands. Yeah, I think this is better. We already will have a Dredger for next turn. Yeah, let's do that. So Water Grave, ouch again. And I think I will keep this Narcomoeba as a blocker if needed. What do you think? So I'll take 3 lands there, and now I don't need to worry about lands anymore. So yeah, Life from the Loam is powerful card. We started this with only 1 land, and now we have 5. Do I keep Narcomoeba as a blocker? My opponent probably has removal spells, but I kind of prefer to have a removal spell pointed to Narcomoeba instead of other cards. Do I stay aggressive here? Well, my opponent is probably a Death Shadow deck, so this is another reason to just hold Narcomoeba as a blocker. Yeah, a utility land like Boseiju. In my first attempt to build this list, I included 1 Boseiju in the main deck. I think Boseiju is probably better. Oh, thank you, Faith Fellowship. We will play a Legacy League after this Modern League. So I think I will just keep Narcomoeba as a blocker because we already are low on life. I will not attack immediately. Something interesting about this hand right now is that since we don't have enablers like Cathartic Reunion, and Otherworldly Gaze has a flashback, this is not so bad if my opponent has something like double Thoughtseize in their hand, which is possible. Is this an opportunity to include the new counterspell, the new free counterspell from Modern Horizons 3? I already have 2 of them, or 3 of them, I don't remember, because I played a draft and a sealed tournament before this league. So it was a rush to find the new cards on time to this streaming. And I found 2 or 3 Flare of Denial. I believe this is the name, Flare of Denial, the blue flare. And since we have Narcomoeba and also Priced Amalgams, maybe blue flare is reasonable as a sideboard card. Okay, I'll let my opponent play. Okay, now they have a second land. Do they have a Tarmogoyf, the green one? No, another Blood Crypt? Doughty Voidwalker. Oh! Oh! We have a bounce spell in our hand. Is this enough to win against Doughty? This is an instant. We need our third land. So now with Doughty Voidwalker, I think I will keep Narcomoeba here because I can always block another Goif with this Liquid Imp. At the same time, we will be really low on life if we take this hit. Okay, so let's block here. This was our plan since the beginning. And now we will have a natural draw. Okay, Golgari Thug. And now I'll play... Probably I'll just want my basic island here to not have... I feeling here, do I need to bounce Doughty Voidwalker this turn on my opponent's end step, and then can I reliably win on my own turn here? Because we have only a single Dredger and we don't have any enablers here. So I'm not sure if we can do. Of course we have Otherworldly Gaze and we'll have double Otherworldly Gaze on turn 4. We can cast Otherworldly Gaze, and if we cast double Otherworldly Gaze, we will not have the opportunity to activate Coliseum. So this is not good enough. Let's see what you are talking here on our chat. Brew this modern oops style. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I think I need more gas. But with this Doughty Voidwalker, and this is something that we need to think when building this list here. This is a testing list. The Sultai version is not so aggressive. Sometimes we just don't have ways to win really fast. I'm not sure if I have three things that I can do here, guys. Let me explain here, and maybe you can help me to decide. I can cast this Liquid Imp as a blocker. Maybe my opponent don't have any removal in their hand, just to hold this Nethergoyf for a turn. I can cast Otherworldly Gaze now, or maybe later, even with Doughty Voidwalker, just to select the top of my deck, and I can do this twice. But I think that we need to bounce Doubt Voidwalker to keep going, because we want to have more cards in our graveyard. Other thing that we can do is just cast Golgari Thug as a blocker, and then we still can cast Otherworldly Gaze, but we need to get rid of this Doubt Voidwalker at least for a single turn. So Giboons is telling me here, why Dredge can be a very grindy deck. The lack of our best grind tools makes me think you want to prioritize a more aggressive version in Modern. Yeah, maybe. And maybe this build here, this Sultai build, is better against some decks, but worse against others. And against the Doubt Voidwalker, this is a hard situation. Okay, I'll pass a turn here. We already took too much time here. I'll pass a turn here. Let's see if my opponent will do something before attacking. A second Doubt Voidwalker. Okay. Alright. Yeah. This is the nail on the coffin, right? Exactly like the double surgical extraction that we faced on our first match, on game 1. Match 1, game 1, surgical extraction, extirpate. So yeah, this card alone will not be good enough. So let's take a basic island. I will bounce this Doubt Voidwalker. Something to remember when you're playing on paper is that a bounce spell bouncing Doubt Voidwalker will be put into your exile zone. Yeah, now just because our opponent has other Doubt Voidwalker, but usually this would be put in your graveyard. It's not the same as I'm not a judge, of course, but when you kill a creature, it resolves differently compared to when you bounce a creature, or when you bounce the Line of the Void, for example. So you have the card in your graveyard. Sometimes this is useful to achieve threshold. I had one opponent last year in a tournament that told me that no, this wasn't the case, and if it wasn't the case, I would have lost that match. And this is a Death Shadow deck. So this is Death Shadow. Okay, I will cast my Otherworldly Gaze from my hand. And this is super hard. We'll probably concede after resolving this spell, because we don't have Cabal Therapy in Modern. Yeah, this is not good enough, guys. I will concede. Against double Doubt Voidwalker, this is not good. Against maybe one here, this would be the time that we maybe find some blockers and maybe some threats. But against double Doubt Voidwalker, if we had Cabal Therapy in Modern, and if we find a second bounce spell here, we can take both Doughties from my opponent's hand. Yeah, so far, not good with this Sultai build. But we had a really bad matchup on our first match against a mill with double surgical extraction. And we had a not great position on our second match. Let's hope for a better sequence right now. Against this is our first time on the play. And this is our best hand so far. So yeah, we don't have green mana for life from the lawn, but we have double. Let's check like this. We have double turn 1 enablers, 2 spells. With some luck, we can activate Cephalic Coliseum turn 2. And maybe this Otherworldly Gaze will find us a green mana to cast this Life from the Lawn later on. This is not perfect, but this is the first time this tonight that we have this situation, so I will definitely keep it. We are testing this. I will start Trickhorn will not select things, but it's probably best to start with Trickhorn, right? Because I already have something to do on turn 2, as long as we find treasures. So I will pay 2 life here, and I will cast Trickhorn. Okay, since we don't have... Do I need to do something right now with Trickhorn in this build? I can wait, right? I don't need to do something right now. I can wait until my opponent's second main step. Yeah, Gibbons is telling here that Loam, for the primary reason of buying back Coliseum, is a poor deck building. But it's not the primary, right? The primary reason is to be a Dredge tree. And to keep you... Okay, this is a control deck. Forest Island Mountain. Or maybe this is a 5-color deck. Our primary reason to have Loam is because it is a Dredge card that can put some lands back into your deck, into your hand, to have a better position later on. This is not the primary reason, right? But being able to get Cephalic Coliseum back is interesting. Not the primary reason, I believe. At least in my opinion, of course. Because this is Dredge 3. We took another Dredge 3 card that wasn't helpful against our other opponents, for example. Maybe against Mill, we could get rid of crabs. We would need to cast twice. But we never had this opportunity on those games. Okay, so now we will have a natural draw unless I cast Otherworldly Gaze. And I think I will do, since this Shriekhorn didn't find too much. Alright, now we have a Dredger. So let's put everything into our graveyard. Akomiba enters the battlefield. Not a good timing for that, but that's okay. And now Golgari Thug. Okay, Creeping Chill is amazing. We have a Prized Amalgam. We have 2 Bloodghasts that will enter. Yeah, finally, turn 2, we are doing our thing. Yeah, Bloodghasts can always yield. And Bloodghasts always yes. At least now. Yes. And yeah, we passed the turn. We don't have another thing to do with Cephalic Coliseum yet, but next turn we can do this. Actually, we can't, because we don't have a second Dredger. We couldn't chain Dredgers there. But Shriekhorn, maybe with its last activation, maybe Shriekhorn will find us what we need. Flare of Cultivation. You may sacrifice an old token, search your library for up to 2 base. So this is ramp. This is ramp. Ramping to what? Mountain, island, forest. Forest, island, mountain. So is this a Timur deck? It seems like. Okay, on my upkeep, I will target myself with Shriekhorn. Not a Dredger. This is probably a moment that I will just crack Cephalic Coliseum as an enabler, not just to put to discard Dredgers here and find another land, and maybe we can have deep analysis later on. We already have 3, 5, 7, 8 power in play. So let's crack Cephalic analysis here. Cephalic Coliseum, I'm sorry. No other lands, unfortunate. But we will discard the Golgari Thug. And yeah, we will have only 1 land, so Loam as a Dredger. And now we will Dredge 4. This is turn 3. Now we have Dredgers, all of them are there. So let's just attack. Oh, is this a Nadu deck with the new card? That card is really good. And another Flare of Cultivation, so my opponent will keep ramping. We have lethal on board. They need something. What do they have? Lightning Bolt. Alright, so they will stay at 1 mana. If we find Creeping Chill, this is little. So Dredge 5. Another Creeping Chill. Another Bloodghast. We can cast Tomb Scour. Maybe reaching a Creeping Chill? No, an Arcomaber. Yeah, we have Prize Amalgams. 3 Prize Amalgams back. And let's put my opponent to a single point of life. If they have Omnath or something like that, alone, it would be not enough to win the game, I guess. I'll just press F6 here. Yeah, the Flare is a good card. Indeed. Flare ramp. The One Ring. Okay, so how to win now? We can't, right? Because my opponent has protection and we don't have Thassa's Oracle like in my last build in Legacy. So let's have a natural draw here. Life from the Loam is not that great. We can cast this Shriekhorn. Now what? This will end on my opponent's upkeep. So I can activate Shriekhorn on my opponent's upkeep and maybe find... let's attack with 1 Arcomaber just to send a message. So I can tap Shriekhorn on my opponent's upkeep, just trying to hit our last Creeping Chill. Shall we? No? Not such luck. Okay, my opponent will draw a card. They need a second the One Ring, or some way to bounce this and replay it, or to exile this. Expressive Iteration. This is banned in Legacy. Oh, they found a second the One Ring. Alright. Alright. So they have protection again. Another land. And we will have a natural draw again. A land would be good. Okay, we found a land. We found Cephalic Coliseum. How many Creeping Chills we already used? Only 2 of them. So this means that we will probably win the game, right? Right? The Cephalic Coliseum will save us because we can crack it on my opponent's upkeep. Now? And let's find Creeping Chill. So, Dredge 5? Yeah, Creeping Chill, and nothing else. Cancel. Oh, okay. Yeah, we won! Finally! Yeah, with Cephalic Coliseum. So, yeah, good card indeed. Confirmed. We finally had the opportunity to use it. Alright. So now, guys, I'm not searching for lists on platforms like Goldfish or others to see the sideboard, because this is a new format. This can be anything. But if you have some intuition about what my opponent can have against us, against our deck, please let me know. Maybe they don't need too much, right? I think Thought Seizes and Gemstone Caverns are something that we really want here. Now, do we need any bounce spell? I don't think so. Or to destroy artifact or enchantments? I don't think so. And I don't think we need Wonder as well. But if you guys, experienced Modern players, know better than me, please let me know what to take from our deck. So I'm including 3 Gemstone Caverns. Probably Sink into Stupor is too slow here, and we probably don't need a 3-mana bounce spell anyways. And I want fetches, but maybe I can take 1 of each. So we have 3 Gemstone Caverns, and we still have 18 lands. Thoughtseize. We can take 1 Dredger. Maybe we still didn't have an opportunity to use deep analysis in this league. We still didn't have the opportunity to use it. So I kind of do more or less like the same we did, and 1 extra card here, probably Shriekhorn. Yeah, let's take a little bit of everything and submit. This is I'm not sideboarding with knowledge, guys. Okay, this is my first Modern League with a new untested deck. So please, if you want better than me, if you know better than me, please let me know, because it seems to me that we can. Okay, this is really good. It seems to me that we can, against decks like this, slower decks like this. This is not the same that we played in our last match. It seems that it is important to keep a high number of everything. So just taking a little bit of everything, just 1 of each piece, maybe it's enough. Jackington is telling here, no clue what they're playing. Some kind of 4-color control or 4-color good stuff or something. The One Ring controller Omnath. Didn't see any key pieces from them. Alright, so this is a great hand. We can start with Gemstone Caverns on turn 0 with Otherworldly Gaze, and then Thoughtseize and Tom's Cover on our turn. And we already have other lands to keep going. So yeah, let's skip this. I'll play Gemstone Caverns. I need to exile a card from my hand. And probably Breeding Pool, right? Probably Breeding Pool. Because I want an extra card in our graveyard. Or maybe Golgari Thug, actually, right? Golgari Thug, because we don't have many ways to discard cards from our hand in this build. We don't have Cathartic Reunion, we have only Coliseum and 1 mana enabler. So yeah, let's exile our Thug. Now do Escape Shift. Interesting. Escape Shift deck with the One Ring. Alright, Razor. And let's remember to stop on my opponent's second main step. As my great friends here on the chat told me. And I will never forget again. Okay, Bloodghast is going to our graveyard. Gemstone going to our graveyard. I think I'll keep Shriekhorn, because we still didn't find our dredgers, and I don't want to draw a dredger. I prefer to draw a Shriekhorn. So let's start casting Thoughtseize, targeting my opponent. Right, Anger of the Gods. This is dirty. Expressive Iteration is good. My opponents still don't have red mana. They don't have any other mana. Oh, Anger of the Gods, they need 2 red mana they don't have. Pick your poison. Do I take Expressive Iteration in case my opponent... is this too greedy? But the best is just take the One Ring. Because my opponent is stuck on lands here. This wasn't the best start for my opponent. I don't have artifacts or enchantments or flying creatures to to protect. And this, if my opponent draw red mana, this can find whatever my opponent needs. What do you think? Cooler Daniel, I hope they sack Arboreal to Green Flare. That's like my new favorite play from Modern Horizons 3. Yeah, this seems like a great play. Alright, I will take the One Ring here. They don't have red mana, that's fine. And now I will cast Tom Scour. Let's crack Polluted Auto first. And then I'll have Bloodghast. Yeah, please. We'll have Watergrave here. Untapped. And Tom Scour targeting us. Okay, we have Dredgers. One Dredger. It's better than no Dredgers. We have 12 Dredgers, but we have more Dredgers than other lists that play only 11 Dredgers, but we are not hitting that many Dredgers easily tonight. Maybe this is just variance. My opponent found another green mana, but their hand is awful. We are free to go. Do I cast Other Early Gaze in my upkeep? I think we don't, because I want to dredge first. Okay, now I'll play Breeding Pool. Or maybe the right sequence. No, yeah, I think this is the right sequence. Because I want to mill first and then select. Okay, Creeping Chill is great. Yep. É o trauma do anel, yeah. It's the One Ring trauma. I played against Michelle Olsen, and she made me cry with her playing the One Ring 1, 2, 3 times against me. Once, twice, and 3 times. So now I cast for the Early Gaze. I could wait, but let's do it right now. I want to mill everything, unfortunately. And this Bloodghast doesn't need to attack because I don't have anything. We have a second Bloodghast. Let's see if my opponent will draw red mana. No? Okay, they found something to make me sacrifice. That's fine. And now what? We dredge first. Now we have Cephalic Coliseum. So now Gibbons, am I saying this correctly? Gibbosm, your name. So now is the time to make Lone shine. This is turn 3 with Gemstone Caverns, and now I will take Cephalic Coliseum, and we can take Breeding Pool, and then we cast here. And now I'll crack Cephalic Coliseum. Both Bloodghasts enter the battlefield. And the Cephalic Coliseum will be activated. Yes, it will be. Only Dredge 3 for now. Dredge 3. Okay. Nakomiba will trigger Prized Amalgams and Dredge 5. And Dredge 5 again. Okay, Creeping Chill is great. We can discard our best Dredgers. Keeping one low. But this is already game over unless my opponent can find whatever they need to find. Yes. And yes. No haste yet, so we can just pass the turn. Wonder would not be so good here because my opponent's blocker has reach. Okay, they found red mana. And the One Ring? Okay, they second the One Ring. Oh no, the One Ring trauma. No, no, please no. Please no. Please don't. We have the win. We have the win. Do I dredge here? Probably dredge 4. Okay. And how many chills we have? We have 2 chills. No chills in our graveyard. Only 2 creeping chills exiled. So I'll play Cephalic Elysium. Yeah, I'll attack 2 guests. I'll attack with 2 guests. What do you think? Let's keep 1. Let's attack with 2 guests only to send a message. 2 messages. Oh, my opponent didn't block. Okay, now I don't think I need to crack Cephalic Elysium immediately. Let's see if my opponent will put themselves into a worse situation. Okay, they will draw 2 cards. Flare of Cultivation. You get this. I was so confident, but my opponent found their second One Ring. So discarding the One Ring with Thoughtseize on turn 1 was really important. Oh, my opponent will cast Anger of the Gods, and everything will be exiled. How can we win this game right now? We have 1 Prized Amalgam and 2 Narcomoebas and 1 Bloodghast and 2 Creeping Chills. We can win this game. Did I miss something? I think that's it. We have 15 cards, and I think we have this 1 shot to win this game. So let's crack this. I will dredge 5. Okay, Prized Amalgam. I will dredge 5 again. Creeping Chill. And now what? Do I dredge 4? I think we dredge 4 and try to win. Let's do some math again. Am I missing something? We still have 1 Creeping Chill, right? So if we hit our last Creeping Chill, it will be 7 life. We need to find an Narcomoeba. I can also dredge 3. This is safer. I can dredge 3 and then cast Otherworldly Gaze. Yeah, this is safer. So let's dredge 3. Yeah, and we hit an Narcomoeba. We can discard Loam, and Imp. Okay. Oh, this is always yield. Oh, okay. No, we already have our Prized Amalgam, so that's fine. Let's take the automatic. Okay, now I will cast Otherworldly Gaze. Okay, we have our 2 last cards. Unfortunately, an Narcomoeba and Creeping Chill. So I could cast Creeping Chill from my hand, right? But my opponent may have some counter spells. So let's. Okay, we'll have 7. Can we win this game? If I mill Creeping Chill, those are the 2 last cards from our deck. Alright, let's think here. We have 2 Prized Amalgams coming back. So this is 7 damage. This Creeping Chill. Yeah, I think we have the win here, unless my opponent has something like a bounce spell. So let's mill Creeping Chill and keep Narcomoeba on top, so we don't die. I want to win this turn. But I want to, since I don't know what my opponent is playing, I want to do what is safest. Like, can they counter something? Can they... Okay, it seems like we won, I think. Yeah, we won. Alright. because since I don't know what my opponent is playing, they may have some bounce effect, they may have some flash creature. So what is the safest way to win before my opponent deploy their third, the One Ring? So yeah, we beat the One Ring, and let's go to our fourth match. Second told me, is it rude to root for the opponent just so I can see what they are playing? Yes, it is. It is so rude. Please don't do that. Not here. Yeah. Okay, so I'll take a glass of water while we wait for our next match. And I have water here behind me, so just a few seconds. Daniel is asking if I consider Satoru for this deck. I didn't. Actually, I did, but just a few moments after considering Satoru, I didn't. For some reasons. The first reason is that I did some testing with Satoru in Vintage. And Vintage, as we know, Golgari Troll is a restricted card. You can only play one Golgari Troll in Vintage in your deck. So you cannot play 2, 3, or 4 cards. And then I tested Satoru in Vintage, and it was kind of a win more card or win less card. Sometimes you couldn't chain dredging just naturally with your Narcomoebas and Poxwalkers. And here okay, no lands, so this is a mulligan. And in Modern, I don't think we have space to include Satoru as a play from your hand, because we don't want to reanimate Satoru. Oh, this is a good sequence of cards. Yeah, this is good. We have a Cephalic Coliseum turn 2, we have double fetch land, we have double Thumb Scour. I can keep this. Unfortunately, we are on the draw, and I will put Golgari Thug back into the deck. It will be shuffled, and let's pass. So I did consider, but at the end, you just want to do other things in your turn 2. In Legacy, Satoru is better because you can reanimate Satoru from your graveyard. In Vintage, you can reanimate Satoru from your graveyard. But in Vintage, you cannot win with Satoru so easily because you don't have a good chaining of dredgers. Oh no, Mill again. Is this the same opponent that we... No, this is other opponent. Mill again. Okay, guys, time to revenge. This is revenge time. So let's establish Dredge as the best Mill deck. The self-mill deck. So we draw another enabler. Alright, so I'll crack Misty. I think I will forget about my Thumb Scour play here, right? And I'll just cast Otherworldly Gaze on my opponent's end step or main step or something like that. What do you think? Or maybe no. Maybe I just keep doing what I want to do because I want to be really aggressive before my opponent reach the turn 4. Yeah, let's not play defensively. My opponent has a great start, but we still have 53 cards in our deck. So oil up, stink with imps. Yeah, they're playing Mill. But I think we will try to do our thing because we have a strong sequence. Yeah, this sequence is better than what we had on our first match this evening. So, Water Grave first. Yeah, yeah, Water Grave first because maybe we need to cast black creatures from our hand at some point. Yeah, I would like to pay 2 life, and then Thumb Scour targeting me. Yeah, I'm helping you, opponent. And now I already have 2 Narcomoebas. And that's kind of unfortunate because we will not have Threshold. No, we will have because we have a Dredger, so forget it. I'm tired. Let's pass a turn. So this was a kind of good turn 1 because we have a slow clock, but we are dating something. My opponent will probably help us right now. Maybe you can find more than just a Stink with Imp. Yeah, Bloodgas. Bloodgas are great. What else, opponent? Oh, they are going immediately for a second land. I'm not a milling expert, not another mill deck that isn't Dredge. But maybe my opponent should wait. Oh, they want to preordain first. Okay, so maybe this is the reason. Yeah, they most likely have mainboard surgicals. That's a good reason to be faster and not wait too much. Okay, so we will dredge here. Dredge 5. Okay, price amalgams. So let's attack first. Now I have an option here. I can... This is mono blue mill because my opponent didn't choose black mana or something. They went for basic islands instead. Okay, I'll place a Cephalic Coliseum here. Bloodghast will enter the battlefield. I could do this after before attacking, so maybe we could hit chills and something. But I'm being careful here because I'm not sure if I need to crack the Cephalic Coliseum against Mill. I played Coliseum, but let's see what they will do against my Prez Amalgam. Maybe they don't have nothing. Maybe they have nothing. Okay, it enters the battlefield. Alright. So we can win in 3 turns, or maybe less than that. Okay, my opponent have Field of Ruin. And we'll activate Field of Ruin right now. Okay, so they are targeting this, so maybe they have Archive Trap. Because this I could sacrifice in response. So I'll make some mana here. I'm forced to search my deck. I'll take my basic island. There's one less card, but that's okay. I think. My opponent is winning the race. And now they have a basic swamp. And we have an extra Narcomoeba. It enters the battlefield. My opponent don't have surgical extractions in the main deck. At least not in their... What? Nothing else? So, and they have only black mana. So I will activate Cephalic Coliseum right now. Let's see if we have the win. Okay, Archive Trap, we already knew that. 2 Creeping Chills will put my opponent into 10 life. So, and we have double Amalgam. But our Narcomoebas already entered the battlefield. Yeah, Creeping Chill. So I'll not dredge anymore. I'll just draw, draw, draw. And discard meeting card, and deep analysis. So yeah, my opponent needs to block next turn to survive, right? Did I miss something here? Because yeah, no, I think we couldn't do anything here because 3, 2, 5. Yeah, opponent. I have 2 Bloodghast here, so let's just draw. And I'll play Polluted Delta. Both Bloodghasts will enter the battlefield. Yeah. And my Prize Amalgams finally will trigger. Yes, please. And now my opponent needs to block to survive. But let's attack first to see. Because I think if we hit one last Creeping Chill, we win the game, right? My opponent is really low on life. We only need to hit one single chill. Now we have some options here. Archive Trap is a trap, right? My opponent can make me mill 13 cards. If my opponent make me mill some cards here, they lose. Because milling is not drawing. So my opponent don't have good ways to win here unless they have surgical, and I don't think they have surgical extraction in their hand. So let's crack Polluted Delta. Okay, we don't have any other lands. We have 2 Creeping Chills. So the best thing we can do here is casting Otherworldly Gaze to try to win right now. We didn't. So let's put this on top, and this on top. And let's see what is my opponent's plan. Because how can they win here? They need to mill or deck and have surgical extraction. This is the only way. Targeting. I press F6 here. I have nothing. Do your worst or your best. We have double Creeping Chill. Visions of Beyond. Oh, you're right, but they don't have mana anymore to cast Tashas. So yeah, good news to us Dredge players. Oh, they milled me. Can you mill me again, opponent, please? And I will definitely cast Otherworldly Gaze in my upkeep. Instead of dredging. Yeah, my opponent is doing the math. We have a great army and 2 Creeping Chills waiting to be dredged or milled. Yeah, and my opponent concedes. Woo, we won against the mill. Alright, time to be creative. Time to be creative, guys. Do we include all our cards, all of our cards into the deck? Can we do something weird like including 15 cards just to have more cards to be milled? What do you think? Is this too crazy on the draw? Thoughtseize and Gemstone Caverns will obviously make the cut. And Stun Dismissals can bounce a crab, but this is not that great, right? They will just replay it. So we would not play this to have good cards. We would play this just to have trash cards. So my opponent have more difficulties to mill us. We can test for science, said Ivan. Ibusm just told me, I think you just want to be aggressive. So nothing to include here. Just Thoughtseize and Gemstones. Very weird, but very funny for sure, Daniel said. Esse deck não parece tão forte como o outro. Michelle is saying that this mill build is not so strong. It doesn't seem so strong than the other from our first match. If we do something weird like this just for science or just for funsies, I'm not sure if we should do this on the draw. or on the play? Is this because on the play I want to be super aggressive, as Gibooms told me, but on the draw, do we? Okay, this is the first time that I'm playing Modern League. I want to test many things. I'm not sure if I should test this, but of course my opponent will do the hard work for me. Okay, guys, I'm here to have some fun. I will submit 75 cards. And if we lose, I will be super aggressive after that. But I don't feel that my opponent will mulligan too much against me. They will keep whatever they have. So yeah, I will mulligan this hand. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this. This is weird. This is super weird, and I love it. Let's do this for fun and for science. Do I keep this? We have 2 Prize Amalgams in hand. This is kind of good. We have 2 lands. Let's mulligan again. Okay, we have Gemstone Caverns now. And Thoughtseize. This is probably a keep. Right now, this is a keep. Or best keep. I can put Creeping Chill back. We need something to exile with these Gemstone Caverns. Maybe Golgari Thug. So this exiling that. Thoughtseize on turn 1. And Life from the Loam on turn 2. Or maybe Life from the Loam on turn 1 instead of Thoughtseize, and maybe we can... No, my opponent kept 7, so it is a Thoughtseize on turn 1. Yeah, I'll keep that. Yeah. Yeah, we have Gemstone Caverns. We don't have an instant spell, but we'll have more lands than our opponent at the beginning of the game. Yeah, so now we have Wonder. But it is kind of hard to find Wonder because we included everything. Gibooms is telling that usually they cut Gazes and some Dredgers. Yeah, let's do this if we had game 3. But let's hope for no game 3. Let's try to win right now. My opponent is thinking here. Daniel saying, Kiyora's Dismissal and Nature's Claim have no targets though, but Wonder can at least let a Bloodghast fly above a crab. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Let's fly over crabs. Okay, my opponent started with a tapped land. This is a slow start, and this strongly suggests that my opponent has a Graveyard Hate in their hand. So I'll definitely start with Thoughtseize. Prize Amalgam, not bad. Let's play Misty, why not? There's no days in this format, but let's see what my opponent hides. Okay, Soul Guide Lantern, double Archive Trap, and Tasha's. And no third land yet, so of course we will take Soul Guide Lantern. Do I crack this now to see, since my opponent don't have anything? Maybe they will have they will take the opportunity to cast those double Archive traps. But now I know that they don't have Surgical Extraction and nothing else. So maybe this is the opportunity to crack this, just to push them into doing that. I think I like this plan. I'll crack Misty Rainforest right now for a Breeding Pool tapped. Or untapped. Just to not suggest that I am doing such a thing. We don't need to care too much about our life, or points of life in this matchup. Okay, Archive Trap as Okay, just one. And the other? And the other? Yeah. One Creeping Chill. Nothing else. Okay. So next turn we can cast even Deep Analysis if we want to. Or Otherworldly Gaze. Or just loam and make our opponent do or drop. This land has Hideaway 4. And they may play the exile card if a library has 20 or fewer cards. We still have 42, thanks to our weird game plan. Now, do I dredge here? Probably, because we still need so many things. How many blood guests do we have? One blood guest, only one. So I think I'll dredge 5 here. Yeah, Creeping Chill and other blood guests. And then I'll cast Loam, taking some lands to get back a blood gas. My opponent is thinking here, do they... if they found a surgical extraction, that would be a shame. Alright. We even have Deep Analysis, but we need more, right? We have only one Amalgam. I want to take those blood guests fast before my opponent find anything else to get rid of them. Yeah, Daniel, but now we are a 75 deck, alright? 75 card deck. So this okay, let's take it. No, three Cephalic Coliseums. What I'm doing? Token and doing wrong thing. So one Water Grave and 2 Coliseums. Now we get this. Yeah, and now I'll just... No, I don't want to pay life. I just want my blood guests back. Yep. Yes. So it seems that our plan is working. We managed to hit some creatures before Tasha's and before our opponent's best spells. Now they have 3 mana and we still have 37 cards in our deck. So we are winning this race, but not by much. Okay, Tasha's managed to hit 14 cards from our deck. Good cards. And now we 3, 5, 7. We don't need to draw anything. We will not win this turn. It is kind of impossible, right? Because let's see if this is possible. We still have 1 Creeping Chill. So our opponent is virtually on 10. And we have 2 blood guests. Also, it is actually possible to win this turn. It is possible to win this turn. Our opponent has a sorcery and an unknown card. Let's make sure of that, because if we can win this turn, I will go for it. So, Wonder is exiled. 1 Amalgam. Yeah, we have 1 Creeping Chill in our deck. And did I took why our sideboard is not showing here? Oh no, yeah, no, I don't have sideboard. We have our blood gas, of course. In the other match, I took 1 blood gas, I guess. So yeah, I think we can win this game. So I'll dredge 5 here. Nothing. Cephalic Coliseum plus Otherworldly Gaze or Deep Analysis is a win. But I don't want to... okay, this is tricky. Okay, I know, guys, I know. I have this. I'll cast Deep Analysis for the first time in this league. always a first time. So its target player draws 2 cards, right? So I'll choose me, and then I'll pay 2 blue mana. Yeah, my opponent pressed F6. So now we'll draw 2. Is Dredge 5. We found our Creeping Chill, so our Blood Guests will have haste. 3. Yeah, we need to find our last Blood Guest. So this Cephalic Elysium, if I dredge 3, we'll have 10 cards, and then I can dredge 4, 3, 3. Yeah, that's it. So we'll dredge 3. We found our other Blood Guests, so we did it. Yes! We did it. 2 Blood Guests here, so 8, 11. This is lethal. At least the way I know. Yeah, so 11 points of damage. Let's attack. Woohoo! Okay, we had a bad start, but now we are 2-2. Alright. And with some convincing wins after a rough start. So, okay. So, 0-2, 0-2, 2-0, 2-0. Let's go to our last match. Modern is fun. Alright. We already have our last opponent. And a triple Q. And we are on the play for the second time this evening. Okay, this is a keep. We have again 2 turn 1 enablers and our best turn 2 enabler. And we don't, unfortunately, we don't have a fetch land. But we still have 11 dredgers in our deck, so maybe this is enough. But this is of course a keep. And yeah, let's go to our main step. Watery Grave, untapped. Tom Scour, targeting ourselves. Okay, we have Bloodghast, we have Dredgers, we are good to go. We are doing our thing. We are definitely doing our thing. And now my opponent is playing what? Okay, Mountain Plains Swamp. Is this the line of something deck? The 5-color deck, maybe? We will dredge 5. Creeping Chill. Great as always. And now we'll have Bloodghast back. It's kind of interesting here because I will have only 1 land after activating Cephalic Elysium. And we have only 1 Dredger there. So, since my opponent is playing a slower deck, there is an argument here, from my point of view, to just cast Shriekhorn and then Otherworldly Gaze to have a great turn 3. At the same point, this Cephalic Elysium, if it doesn't hit other Dredgers, it will find us 2 other cards. So maybe we can naturally draw a card here, a land. I'll crack it, let's do our thing, let's do the most broken thing that our deck can do. But knowing that, yeah, unfortunately we found an Arcomoeba. Sometimes it happens. Maybe the right thing to do it wasn't that, but so I tried to point here my way of thinking here. Sometimes we do what our best is designed to do, and it just doesn't work, but our plan B can be better, and we can trust it as a better plan. But we are here to test the deck, that's fine. So I will discard a Stinkwood Imp, Golgari Thug, and Amalgam. Yes. 3 damage. And we pass the turn. Next turn I can cast Otherworldly Gaze on our upkeep, just to find our second land, and then cast Shriekhorn. Breeding Pool for my opponent. Yeah, this is the 5-color deck. This can exile cards from our graveyard, 1 card each time this creature attacks. So let's keep that in mind. Let's do our thing. Cast Otherworldly Gaze. Okay, we found Cephalic Coliseum. So Shriekhorn can be put into our graveyard, Bloodghast also. But let's keep Cephalic Coliseum. So we can do it again next turn. We draw it. We play it. Bloodghasts enter the battlefield. Press Amalgam will enter the battlefield soon. I'll play Shriekhorn. And since those Bloodghasts can have haste if we hit another Creeping Chill, let's do it right now. We didn't have such luck. And now we pass turn. Okay, my opponent can attack us dealing 5 damage. But we already have 7 power in play. My opponent can have removal spells like Leyline Binding, for example, or others. Okay, now our Bloodghasts will have haste after my opponent fetching a land. One thing that they can do is just cast a Lightning Bolt, for example, or some other red removal targeting our Pressed Amalgam, and then exile or Amalgam or other threat with Kavu. Yeah, it seems like something that they want to do. I call it. Let's see. What else? Scion of Draco. Alright. So this Kavu has First Strike and Trample, but my creatures cannot block, so that's fine. And they will exile Prize Amalgam. And this was their turn 3. We are still ahead, but it is close. I don't know what else they have on their hand. Now, let's dredge first. Okay, 2 Narcos. Okay, now this is something really important, and that's great that we found this on our last match. The Cephalic Coliseum is an instant effect. So now is our opportunities, or window of opportunity, to just do our thing and found other creatures to enter the battlefield at the end of the turn. So let's start with Shriekhorn. Okay, Bloodghasts. Unfortunately, we'll wait a little bit more because we don't have other lands, but that's fine. We already have 2. And now we will activate Cephalic Coliseum. Dredging 5. Okay, 2 Prize Amalgams. And Thug. Creeping Chill. And Thug again. Nothing else. We can discard our best Dredgers. And next turn, maybe we can just have a natural draw. I don't know. Just to put Bloodghasts into play. Let's see. We can attack here. Yeah. We'll definitely attack here. Our opponent can block, but this Scion of Draco don't have lifelink or anything like that. And now we have more than lethal. My opponent need a lifelink effect. A lifelink effect. Or some mass removal here. How many Creeping Chills we hit? We still have 1 Creeping Chill in our deck. So if we activate double Shriekhorn, we plus Dredge 5. 5, 4, this is already 9 cards. We have great chances to hit our last Creeping Chill next turn. Opponent will. Maybe they will draw something, discard and draw. Yeah. Trying to hit something. This always indicates to us that our opponent don't have what they need, right? Okay, they discarded Regavan. We will not block, of course. Narcomoebas are not good blockers against trample large creatures. They play a land. Bracket. Alright, so they have something. Or they found something. Okay, a blocker. Another blocker. Alright, so we got the win. Let's see. Chew in the air. What is better here? Trying to hit our Creeping Chill or trying to hit a land? I'm not sure how many lands do we have. We could go for a Creeping Chill here. We still have... yeah, I think this is better. Let's just go for it. We'll Dredge 5. Yeah, we didn't have a land on top, so that's the best choice. Let's target ourselves with Shriekhorn. No Creeping Chill. Okay. Let's cast our second Shriekhorn. I'm not crazy, right, guys? We still have one Creeping Chill. Yeah, we still have one Creeping Chill. Let's try to do this again. Yeah, we hit it. We won. It was our last card. Our last card. Let's win with some emotion. Yes. Alright, we won. We won. But we need to win our second game too. Just winning the first game is not enough. So let's sideboard. Against this deck. What do they have, guys? If you experienced modern players here, what do they have? Gemstone Caverns is always a must. And I will take one fetch, another fetch, and the bounce spell, I believe. Yeah, we are winning against Domain Zoo. Is this usually a bad matchup for us? Because it didn't felt like a bad matchup, at least after this small sample. It felt like an okay matchup. Of course, my opponent could have turn 1 Regavan, but yeah, Wonder maybe is good here to fly over the creatures, unless they have many flying creatures with their own ley line. And I'm not sure if I want to include Thought Seizes or removals, bounce spells. What do you think, guys? Maybe I will check here the last builds. No, I will stay true to myself here. I will not search for deck lists. But if you guys, experienced players here, know something about it, please let me know. Okay, so Thoughtseize on the draw. Is this too slow? I think it is. But if my opponent plays something like Surgical, Thoughtseize is a great card, of course. I just feel like this deck naturally can run me over if they have the nuts, right? A turn 1 creature, turn 2 creature, or maybe a leyline on turn 0. So I'm not sure if Thoughtseize on the draw is the best thing here. Yeah, that's what I thought, Daniel. Maybe bounce spells can be good not only against creatures, but their own leyline if they have leyline. They probably have Rest in Peace. So Rest in Peace is interesting. So maybe we need Thoughtseize and we cannot do anything about, right? Because just bounce a Rest in Peace is not good enough. We need to make them discard the Rest in Peace. But they maybe have only 2 Rest in Pieces, right? I include Rest in Peace, Stun Dismissal here. And let's take one Dredger, one Bloodghast. Bloodghasts are not that good here. We need to take something soon. Okay, let's choose Turn Dismissal. Okay. Let's try like that to see what my opponent plays. Because this is a new format and maybe my opponent is playing something different. We never know. I could probably take a 1 deep analysis here. On the draw. Deep analysis doesn't seem like a good card on the draw after sideboarding. Okay, this is almost good. My opponent kept 7. This is almost good. We don't have turn 1 enablers. This is almost good because we have lands and we have Cephalic Coliseum. We just need enablers and this is not good. Mulligan. Okay, alright. We have turn 1 enablers. This deep analysis is not so great. We have 3 cards. Is this too weak? Is this too weak to fight? My opponent kept 7 cards. Let's mulligan again. This is not good. Let's mulligan to 4. Okay, this is probably our best hand because we have some selection. So I'll keep this 4 cards and put those 3 back into the deck. We have 2 fetch lands. Yeah, this is not good. This is not great, but it is our best hand. And yeah, for our strategy, this is our best hand. No leyline for our opponent. That's good news. Tapped land is good news too, but my opponent can have rest in peace. So just a Golgari Thug. I feel like the selection here is more useful than the speed of Shriekhorn. But my opponent has something like Rest in Peace. I know this deck also plays Stubborn Denial, right? I'm not sure if all the builds play Stubborn Denial, but many builds will play. So I'll cast Otherworldly Gaze right now, before my opponent has access to blue mana. Water Grave? Yes. And I'll cast Otherworldly Gaze right now. It just resolved. Okay, we can include 3 cards into our graveyard and pass a turn. No rest in peace? No rest in peace? You don't have rest in peace? Just something like a Nishoba Brawler? Or maybe a Kavu? Or Ground Tomb? So now they have access to everything but islands. This is a 4/4. We will dredge 5. Okay, we have deep analysis here. Is this is this the time to make deep analysis shine? Let it shine, let it shine. So let's take our breeding pool. Yes. Oh, Allison told here, I like lead on Horn Pass. If they rip, we don't mill, but we can mill plus gaze before draw if they don't. Yeah, too late for that now, but I didn't read this before. But I'm not sure if this is... Considering what we found, I think this was better in the end. But yeah, this line would be good to have in mind in the future. So we have deep analysis. Let's do it. Let's see if this deep analysis is like a weak but reliable card in our deck. Dredge 5, Dredge 4. I see weak because we are used to play Ox of Agonas, right? And this is no Ox, but we had resources to cast it on turn 2. And now we just pass. No Life from the Loam yet. If we had Life from the Loam, we could cast it, have another land, and then take this Bloodghast. But now we don't have Dredgers. We didn't find our Dredgers, so we will have a natural draw next turn. And then we can activate Shriekhorn. Okay, my opponent will get rid of Prize Amalgam where they can. And play Plains. Wild Nakatlo, alright. And now what? Yeah, let's just draw here. I could cast Otherworldly Gaze, but yes, Cephalic Coliseum. Yes! I was leading to say that. We have many good natural draws in this spot. We still didn't hit any Cephalic Coliseums. We can have other enablers. And if we couldn't find anything, we can just Otherworldly Gaze. But yeah, we have a Cephalic Coliseum. Before activating Cephalic Coliseum or even revealing Cephalic Coliseum, let's cast Shriekhorn here. Do we cast Shriekhorn or do... Yeah, this is better. Let's cast Shriekhorn. And now, yeah. With my Legacy mind, I will just activate Shriekhorn before putting Cephalic Coliseum into play. But it is better to put Cephalic Coliseum now. So now with this Bloodghast trigger on the stack, I will activate Shriekhorn. Let's see if we can find a Dredger. No, but we found Prize Amalgam, which is also good. Do I crack Cephalic Coliseum now? We don't have Dredgers. Otherworldly Gaze will do more or less the same, but without the guaranteed Dredgers on the bin. We have only 4 Dredgers and almost half of our deck, so it's kind of easy to find Dredgers right now. Not that hard to find Dredgers. We are already low on life. I think I will high roll this and I will cast Otherworldly Gaze instead of cracking Cephalic Coliseum. Maybe this is wrong, but I think this has the higher ceiling. Creeping Chill, okay, and another Cephalic Coliseum. Okay, so we found something good for next turn. Yeah, next turn Creeping Chill will give us some fat to burn. And this Bloodghast and this Prize Amalgam will enter the battlefield before Cavu can exile some of them. And next turn we'll draw Cephalic Coliseum. And life is good. We will not attack into a 3/3 Nakatl, right? Okay, my opponent will hit me with a Lightning Bolt. Do they have many? I hope they don't. We cannot block. This is 7, maybe 8 damage. They need 2 more bolts to win this game. This turn. Can we finish this Modern League with a 3-2 record? With a winning record? Even if we don't win this match, I will still be happy because this was a great league in my opinion. Legion's End. Alright. You exiled my... In case you don't know what this card does, if we had some Bloodghast in our hand, they would be exiled. But now, just that Bloodghast was exiled. This is no surgical extraction. Yeah, this is rude. I agree. Marcelo Medeiros is here. Marcelo is the spyman on MTGO. Marcelo, where are the duos? Here, Watergrave is a dual land. It has an additional layer of text, but it is a dual land. Now our opponent is probably doomed, but we need some luck here. So let's start. Now that we don't have Bloodghasts, what is better here? I will probably activate Shriekhorn first. It's only 2 cards after all. Okay, Thug. This is what we wanted to see. And I am playing Cephalic Elysium first because if we hit Narcomoebas, we had no Narcomoebas until now. So I think Narcomoebas plus Prized Amalgams are more reliable to find right now. So Dredge 4, yeah, Narcomoeba 1. Now Dredge 4 again, Creeping Chill. Now Dredge 3 and Prized Amalgam, yeah. And we'll discard, we already have only 17 cards in our deck. So let's discard you, and you. And in response to those triggers, let's test, oh, we need to order those. Let's test here because we still have one last Amalgam in the deck. So let's try to hit that last Prized Amalgam. So Dredge 5. Okay, Lord Guess. And Dredge 5 again. Alright, and I think I can Dredge 5, right? Because we will definitely win or lose next turn. I don't think we can. We need to just don't dredge one extra card to have one extra turn to win the game, because my opponent have creatures. How many Creeping Chills do we have? We have this is our last Creeping Chill. So my opponent is virtually on 6 life. We can attack with this Prized Amalgam. My opponent will probably block with Regavan. Or maybe they don't, because, yeah. But we have blockers here. Yeah, let's Dredge 5 here. Let's be aggressive. Okay, another Narcomoeba. We have Wonder! Wonder for the first time. So this Prized Amalgam has flying. Yeah. And we have 4 flying beautiful creatures. Unfortunately, Modern don't have Anger. Anger would be great. A great reason to play red. Not only Ox of Agonas. Anger would be great. But we have Wonder. It is something. Okay, let's do some math here. We have 8 life. My opponent 6. I attack here. My opponent will be on 3 life. We have many blockers. My opponent don't have trample. If my opponent find a Scion of Draco, those creatures will have trample. But this is not lethal because we have blockers and we have more. Yeah. The only thing that my opponent can have here to win this game is lifelink. So let's attack in the air. Can we win this? My opponent is trying to understand probably why is this creature flying? Yeah, we have islands. This Amalgam is only one Amalgam, guys. Let's not get too excited here because it's only one Amalgam, but 4 triggers from 4 Narcomoebas. Now what? We have 4 blockers. My opponent is on 3 life. They don't have flying creatures to block. They need to win this turn or put something else here on the table. Oh yeah, they have Tribal Flames, but don't think about that right now. We have 4 blockers. They would need 2 Tribal Flames. They will attack. I will definitely block. Let's see if they are discarding a card to draw a card. And they discarded the Kavu. We will definitely block everything because we can. And maybe my opponent has Tribal Flames, right? Do we need to block everything? Yeah, probably is the best choice. We will kill Regavan. And Legion's End cannot target Prized Amalgam. So if this is the plan, my opponent cannot use this. They can only target Narcomoeba. Okay, my opponent passes. Now we will have a natural draw. Come scour. Alright, and let's attack. My opponent is not conceding. Do they have something? We have 7 power in the air. Okay, they have a lightning bolt. Okay. And? What? Oh no! Oh no! They have something. They have leyline binding. Ah. This is so rude. Okay. So considering that was, yeah, that's fine. We cannot play around everything, right? So if I knew that my opponent had leyline binding and both in their hand, both could be targeted at us. So I still needed to block. Maybe we could block one less creature, and then my opponent will have 1 life now. But yeah, it is what it is. Now, what can we do? I can cast a Golgari Thug. It will be a 1/1 flying. And that's it. Can my opponent get rid of 2 creatures now? They will attack. They are looting. Picker Poison enters. I will not block. I will go to 1. Because if I block here and my opponent has a Tribal Flames, I will lose anyways. I will lose to both, but I will win if my opponent has only 1 removal spell. So I will not block. One possible play here would be block with Tug. Tug dies. Tug puts something on top. Tribal Flames. Okay. Almost there, guys. This was a huge game of Magic. This was super intensive. I think we did super good. We did it. We did great plays here, but we couldn't win game 2. Now we have game 3. Oh, I didn't play it. I didn't confirm it here. I'm sorry. I thought that Modo was stuck, but no. That was my bad. Okay, my opponent won the second game. Oh, this was a mulligan to 4? Was this a mulligan to 4? I think it was, right? Was this a mulligan to 4? Yeah, we had a mulligan to 4 this game. And it was really competitive. Just thinking for a moment, my opponent had kept 7 cards. So this was a mulligan to 4. This is a strong deck. This is a strong deck. So let's include our lands back. And now I think we can Thoughtseize, right? Wonder did some work. I'm not sure if I will still keep Wonder. Maybe. Blood Gas, right? Our deck felt so good against this deck. My opponent had no graveyard hate. Let's see here, or let's read the messages on the chat. Hey guys, so against this deck on the play, I already did the sideboard for the lands. Now what? I want to include 4 Thoughtseizes, but do we need them? Now maybe Stern Dismissals are worse, but how can I include 2 more Thoughtseizes? Maybe if I take Wonder from the deck? Wonder is good, but it is necessary if I want to include 4 answers for discard spells. I could take 1 Deep Analysis from the deck and play like this. I have 2 less Bloodghasts here. Maybe I need to be more aggressive than that. Bloodghasts cannot block, and that's why I took 2 of them on the draw. Do I still play with only 2? If I really want to include Thoughtseize, of course I do. But if we don't find a Thoughtseize on turn 1 on our starting hand, Thoughtseize is just not good enough. Okay, let's play like this. I need to have more repetition with this deck, of course, to have the better sideboarding choices here. Okay, last game of this modern evening. I almost said modern Monday. Modern Tuesday. So yeah, I would like to play first. We have Thoughtseize, we have Otherworldly Gaze, but the rest of our hand is awful. I don't think we will keep this only because of Thoughtseize. I think we can do better than that. 3 Narcomoebas, come on deck. Come on deck! What are you trying to do? Double Thoughtseize, 1 Shriekhorn. Can we keep this? 2 Narcomoebas in our hand. I don't think we can keep this. Can we keep this in Modern? In Legacy this would be a snap mulligan. Like no. Of course we can put 1 Narcomoeba back, but then we need to cast 2 Narcomoebas from our hand. This also means that our prized amalgams will not enter the battlefield easily. I don't feel... My opponent is also mulliganing. Of course double Thoughtseize is good, but is this good enough? The chat is silent, so it is me and me. Okay. Nobody is helping me now. Come on guys, come on. We still have 5 minutes, so I need to hurry up. I will mulligan this. Let's do our thing. Okay, this is our thing. I'll keep this. Let's put Narco and Stinkweed Imp back. Oh, my opponent now has a leyline of the Guild Pact. Okay, so their creatures are scary than anything. So let's do our thing here. Tracking Polluted Delta for a breeding pool. We already have life from the loan. Untapped. Some Scour targeting ourselves. Narcomoeba. And pass the turn. Let's press F6 here to save some time. Just a single plains, but this is not only a plains, this is a plain, swamp, island, mountain, and forest. And that's why this Wild Nakato is already a 3/3. This is a great start for our opponent, probably the best so far. We don't have other dredgers, we draw our worst card to draw, unfortunately. Now we'll take black mana, untapped, ouch. And I will take Polluted Delta, Cephalic Elysium, and Polluted Delta from our graveyard. Now we have infinite mana. I will not block, so I will attack. I will save Narcomoeba for other creatures, other larger creatures in the future. I'm envisioning a moment that I will cast Creeping Chill from my hand with this hand. Oh, no other lands from my opponent. Do they have Rest in Peace? Okay, we'll dredge 3. We have Deep Analysis and another Dredger. Now it's kind of interesting. I will do the thing, right? But again, this is another spot that I feel that maybe the right choice would be just trying to have a better turn after that. Okay, we have a bounce spell. Alright, let's discard our dredgers. And attack. Let's attack here. Come on, let's not lose on time, right? Let's play faster than that. Alright, we will dredge 5. And we will play Polluted Delta. And I will attack again. And now let's hold this bounce. Okay, my opponent found Temple Garden. They will attack first, okay. Tribal Flames targeting me. Okay, I should have cast this before, right? So they don't have red mana. So my only chance to survive here is cracking this for a tapped Breeding Pool and hitting Creeping Chill, exactly Creeping Chill here. Yeah, we hit Creeping Chill like a boss. Oh yeah, that would be good also, Gibbons, thank you. I wasn't... yeah, of course, because this will do the damage after resolving, right? Not before. So yeah, you were right, and I did the second best move, I guess. So now we will dredge 5. 2 Creeping Chills are great. Now that's unfortunate that we don't have more than that, right? I kind of inclined to just bounce this, play Polluted Delta, and next turn... But I need Press Amalgams, right? So, but my opponent can have other Tribal Flames. So I don't have much time to think here. I think this is my last Creeping Chill. So I think I'll hold this as a blocker, and I'll cast this right now, because I don't have much time to think. Oh, here. And I'll play this, and I'll stay as a blocker this turn, because this will not affect my clock. Do we still have lands? I have a basic island, right? Rest in peace. Oh no! Okay, okay. Let's crack this. Basic island. Okay. For the Worldly Gaze. So we will cast this and this. We can put this, this, and this on top. Why not? And pass a turn. If they just attack, I don't... Okay, they attack. I need to block, right? Because they can have direct damage. Yeah, they found a red and another creature. Okay, I think don't have much choice and much time here. I'll cast this. Guys, I have 24 seconds. If someone wants to say something to me, it needs to be right now. Because I need to block here, unfortunately. Do I? I think I don't. If they have lightning bolts, they have it. Because it's tramples. Okay, another Nakado. That's it, guys. We will not win this, unfortunately. We don't have time to win this. And yeah, my opponent found Rest in Peace on time, unfortunately. Almost there, almost there. But we had a great fight here. We had a great fight. This was definitely a great fight. And well, let's talk a little bit about the deck. I had a great fun this evening playing a modern deck. So yeah, let's think about the deck here. The deck felt really powerful when we did our thing. Every time we did our thing, it seemed like some of the most powerful things that some player could do. We won against Zul, we won against other decks, even against Mill with a crazy approach after sideboarding. But sometimes we couldn't find our pieces. And that's the same for every Dredge deck in every format. Sometimes you can find in your starting hand exactly the cards that you want in your graveyard. And Modern Dredge, for me, at least this version, this build, feels like really depends on those 12 cards plus something to work. Because sometimes those cards will not find what you need. As I said before the intro of this live stream, sometimes we don't have exactly what we need, but in Legacy our enablers are better than in Modern. In Modern they are slower, and if we spend 1, 2, 3 turns trying to hit our stuff to maybe on turn 4 and 5 finally do our thing, this is like a pauper pace, like some pauper decks can win with some reliability on turns 4 or 5, sometimes even sooner than that. But I believe this deck, when it does the thing, it is really good. When it doesn't, of course, I know this seems something obvious to say, but other Dredge decks that I watched playing in the past with turn 2 enablers, with many turn 2 enablers, kind of felt like faster because they were more aggressive. Oxophagonus is also an enabler, but so it's an enabler and a threat. I like this deck, but I don't think this is the right build yet. And I think, of course, the sideboard is not right. Bounce spells against some portion of the metagame is not the best. And but what to change here? Maybe we can have counter spells. Today I wrote a piece and I published a piece, an article about Modern Horizons 3 on my Patreon. If you are there, you can read it. It's some like 5 or 6 pages talking about each one of those cards, each one of the new cards for Modern and for Legacy. And I talked a little bit about this build and the other build that I have here, and the build that I will at least start playing here. It's already late here, but I really want to start playing the Legacy build as well, the 8 Imp deck. So that's it. I think this deck is good. Bloodghasts were good. At the same time, Bloodghasts cannot block. And this almost was a problem at some portion of this league. Sometimes I just wanted a blocker. But of course, if I had the ghouls here, the Silver Smoke ghouls, they also enter the battlefield tapped, right? So I'm not sure yet. As someone told here, Gibbulsm told me here in the chat, that Life from the Loam only to cast Cephalic Coliseum is not a great play, and I totally agree. But Life from the Loam is a Dredge tree, and we have Dark Blast also as a Dredge tree. I think it all depends if you want to have some utility lands like Cephalic Coliseum and maybe others. Sink into Stupor is not that great in Modern, but it almost had its moment, right? I liked that moment on our last game, in our last match, that I could played to bounce Leyline there. And if I were more experienced in Modern, I would do this on the right timing, but I did on the bad timing, and because of that, I took 3 more damage than I needed. And maybe this cost me the game, I'm not sure. So please, this live stream will stay here in the channel, published here, so maybe other people can watch later. So please leave a comment below, click the like button, everything that you can do to help me to build a good and great Dredge channel here on YouTube. Okay guys, this was our Modern League. Now I want to play some Legacy matches. I'm tired, I'm hungry, so I'm not sure if I will play this league until the end. It's almost midnight here in Brazil, but I really want to play this because it took me some hours of my time from yesterday to until now to build the deck. So I want to test just a little bit of the 8 pimp dredge, like I'm calling it, because we have similar effect as Dredge in Psychic Frog. And I told a little bit about this in the intro. And if you want to stay with me at least for a couple of matches, and maybe if I got really excited, I will play until the end of this league. Let's see. I'm not promising anything, but maybe we can do this league until the end. But I really want to see this in action. This seems to me like it can be a great way to start building a new approach to Legacy Dredge, Dimir Dredge, blue-black Dredge, with 8 Dredge effects. And Psychic Frog is really strong as an enabler, as a threat as well. But we need to think a little bit about the deck to include Psychic Frogs, because usually Legacy Dredge will have faster effects like Lion's Eye Diamond and other cards. And I want to test this with Grief and other control elements, and let's see if this will pay off. So yeah, what a world, right? But we have one mana enablers. We have 1 mana enablers, and what is the thought behind this, guys? One of the worst matchups for us lately has been Riskaminator because of Doughty Voidwalker, especially after sideboarding. And against everyone else, having those 4 cards here, it's kind of having Satoru and Thassa's Oracle and Dread Returns, cards that will be useful later in the game. So the core of the deck is more or less the same. But if we are playing against cards like Doughty Voidwalker, this is a card that can win the game because it is a huge flyer soon, because you can discard a card to put +1/+1 counters and give this flying until the end of the turn. So this is a way that we can have to win games that were unwinnable before. So this is like a strategy if the metagame evolves to that. If, of course, if we have many other combo decks, maybe this is not good enough. But we have Grief, we have Force of Will, we have even Harbinger of Decease to test here. And what else here? Okay, Force of Will and Leyline. So let's test this. This is the 8 Pimp Dredge 1.0, and I will play at least a couple of matches here. Let's see what we can do with this list. Let's go. And Psychic Frog is a card that is after all the revealed cards being spoiled, right? Psychic Frog was one of the first cards revealed on the spoiler season, and Psychic Frog was not so flashy at first because people, at least in Dredge, people were expecting something better like Careful Study or other cards. But Psychic Frog is a good card, but not so fast as we were expecting to be. Okay, we're playing against Drayton. We are on the play. This is uncapable. Okay, this is what I was talking about. We have a turn 1 and a turn 2, but we don't have a second land. Is this a keep? Guys, if there's one thing that I've learned about playing Magic the Gathering competitively, is that sooner or later you have some hand to evaluate, like this one. You have a beautiful curve of turn 1 spell, turn 2 spell, you have dredgers, you have everything you want, but you have only one land. And then you think, well, I have a good feeling about this. I'm gonna keep this hand because I have a great curve of cards, and I have lands in my deck. At some point maybe I draw a land or try to draw a second land, and then you keep this hand. But then your opponent has Wasteland, and you never draw a second land and lose. So don't keep one-landers if you can. Okay? Maybe if this... Okay, I have a way to put my Dredger, and I have a Dredger. No, this is a mulligan. Okay, this is a great keep. So yes, I will keep this. And I keep Grief. Let's evaluate here. I have 2 lands that I want to keep, and I have a Dredger. I don't think I can keep Grief in this hand, unfortunately, so I'll put Ichorid and Grief back. I would like to keep Grief, but I think it's better to keep Enablers when you are on the play. So Cephalic Coliseum and Careful Study. Okay, it resolves and we discard our 2 graveyard cards, keeping the orders and passing the turn. Okay, now I'm playing Legacy. Now this is my element. Let's see if this new deck will pay off, or if just my imagination. Urza Saga. Alright. And Grandson. Okay, this is Painter. We'll dredge 4. And now we still don't have Tree Shot. You see, guys, it's not only in Modern, in Legacy. Sometimes you don't have it, and that's fine. So let's play Underground Sea and cast Careful Study, right? Nothing else from our graveyard. We have something here. We have something interesting here. Because we don't have Dredgers now. And we have a Cabal Therapy and 2 Bridges and 1 Poxwalkers. So I think the play here is not casting Careful Study. I think the play here is a hidden play, and I'll show you right now. I'll cast Golgari Thug from my hand, because this is half of the combo, right? So I'm really afraid of Painter Servant. I'll cast Cabal Therapy, targeting my opponent, sacrificing my Golgari Thug. Now what? I was playing Modern. Let's see if I can do this right. I'll order those triggers. This is... I'm not a scientist. Let's see. I order those triggers. So Golgari Thug will resolve for last, right? So I'm ordering. So Golgari Thug will target Poxwalkers. Yeah. And then... But before that, Poxwalkers will enter the battlefield. So you lose no creatures. That's good, right? That's good value. And 2 zombies. And then you have your Dredger, and next turn we can sacrifice a Cephalic Coliseum and cast Careful Study. All at once. And we need to be fast to win against this, because Urza Saga will definitely find Soul Guide Lantern on turn 3. So now I will name Painter Servant. It's the card that we fear the most. But we could name other cards as well. I'm not sure if my opponent is playing the red or the blue build. It's the red build. They have Goblin Welder and Goblin Engineer would be my second guess here. And Chaos Defiler, alright. And now we pass the turn. Oh, I will not press F6 here, because my opponent don't know my hand. They don't know if I'm playing counter spells or not. Okay, Goblin Engineers, so they are trying to win the game next turn. Can they? With Ancient Tomb, so 1 mana, 3 mana, they can activate this, and 1 red mana. Oh, and Snaring Bridge instead. Okay, so they don't think they can win next turn. We will dredge 4. Unfortunately, no creeping chills to speed up our gameplay. And 3 bridges. Will my opponent block? I'm not sure, I don't think so. We don't have hasty creatures, so let's attack first. And this is a bummer for us because we don't have ways to win with this deck against an ensnaring bridge. So, of course, we'll still do our thing here. Dredge 5, Dredge 6. Okay, our bounce spell is gone. So, and no life from the loan in this build. We have Narcomoebas. Narcomoebas can attack. If my opponent plays something like this, they can destroy a permanent, a non-land permanent. Alright. And now I'll play that. Let's crack it immediately. And we'll dredge 6. And 6 again. And 5. Hi, Dredge friends! Adam Rude is in the house. We discard everything but Golgari Thug because it's something that we can play from our hand. Narcomoeba's ability, yes. Guys, if we have here tonight, if some of you are not subscribed to this channel, please click on the subscribe button. Let's build a stronger Dredge channel. So now what? Do I take something from my opponent's hand? Because I will cast Cabal Therapies, I will have many zombies, I will have an army, I will have lethal next turn. But I don't want to put my opponent next turn easily with only 2 or 1 card in their hand. So let's see, my opponent will have a land, they will draw something, 6 cards. They will play a land, Ancient Tomb probably. So 5 cards again. They can pay 1 mana here, so they will have 3 mana. They will need 1 extra mana to include, to put, yeah. I think this mountain was the same mountain, right? So there is 1 card that we don't know. We have 3 Cabal Therapies I don't want to hit yet. So I'll just cast my first Cabal Therapy here, naming again Painter Servant. Actually, I will not name Painter's Servant here because it will be easier to my opponent to combo with Painter in their graveyard. So let's name nothing here. Name Sticker Goblin, do you have it? Name Sticker Goblin. No, you don't. And you have Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Okay, can they win the game somehow with those cards? So they put Ensnaring Bridge. 1, they will have at least 3 cards in their hand next turn. So I don't think they can win the game. I will not, and those cards are not scary for us. So I will not make them discard anything. I will just make more zombies to have more than lethal on board. We already have our 4 bridges. So a good day to pie. And I'm not an expert in Painter, of course, I never played Painter. But in my head, my opponent had the win there. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't do the right calculation there. So yeah, let's pass a turn. We have more than lethal. My opponent needs to win or put Ensnaring Bridge into play. See what they will search. What they will search for. Hey, my opponent is really thinking here. Maybe they don't have ways to win. Soul-Guide Lantern, okay. I don't mind, you can exile my graveyard. I don't want anything from that. Not now. Okay, they are just drawing a card. Yeah, we won. We won against Painter. Yeah, it was enough to win. All right. So now what? Lately, Painter decks are not using Leyline of the Void. Not always, at least. They usually have Soul-Guide Lantern as an Urza Saga target. Not a target, Urza Saga. Something that they can search with Urza Saga. Okay. So, what do we want? Now we have Harbinger of the Seas. Do we want this on the draw? This is too slow on the draw because Urza Saga can find what they need if they play Saga on turn 1. So I don't think we want this. The Line of the Void is always a consideration because they usually use the graveyard. But on the draw, we probably want some forces here, and maybe Psychic Frogs are not that good. I want to test them, but let's see how many blue cards we have. 4, 5, 11. So yeah, if I want Force of Will, I don't want to take Psychic Frogs, unfortunately, because they are blue cards. At least this. So bounce spells are interesting, but in this build I wasn't paying attention to Painter. I thought about other builds, other archetypes. So we don't have Chain of Vapor to bounce a bridge. So this is only for creatures and enchantments. This of course can bounce Painter Servant with the trigger on the stack, but I will do this only if my opponent play Leyline. Yeah, Michelle is saying that sometimes they play Leyline. But since we won our first game, I will only sideboard against Leyline, heavily sideboard against Leyline, if I see something on game 2. Because I don't think a good Painter deck will mulligan aggressively to find Leyline of the Void if they have a good combo kill in their hand. So maybe 2 bounce spells is good, but Force of Will, I believe Force of Will is better. So I will take 3 imps that are super slow in this matchup. We don't 4 imps actually. I would take Psychic Frog as well, but I will take 4 Putrid Imps, and that's it. This may seem weird because Putrid Imp is our turn 1 enabler, but against Painter is not that good. We need to be fast, and Painter is discard thick, but Painter doesn't draw cards, and especially on the draw, I don't think Painter is good enough. Okay, we have a bounce spell that can also be pitched, and we have ways to start our gameplay, and this hand is awesome. Not awesome, but it is good enough. My opponent had a mulligan to 6. Ancient Tomb. Is this Chalice? Agatha Soul Cauldron. Nope. Let's counter that. Okay, so this is the Painter Cauldron combo. And now we draw. About Therapy. My opponent already had a mulligan. I will not cast About Therapy right now. I'll try to do my thing because we don't have anything. So I will search. My opponent can have some Blood Moon effects. Can they? We don't have basic islands anymore, not in this build, but yeah, that's life. So Other Legacy in the main step, and we'll put you and you into the graveyard, but we'll keep Cephalic Elysium. This seems a lot like our last league playing Modern. Cast Other Legacy, keeping Cephalic Elysium on top, put an Arcomoeba into play. Oh, my opponent had only Agatha Soul Cauldron. Alright, they kept a great card against us, but yeah, they need something else. I will not reveal this Cephalic Elysium yet. Let's just play Flooded Strand and cast Underground Sea. I will still do my thing instead of casting Cabal Therapy, but now it will be interesting to cast Cabal Therapy targeting my opponent. Okay, especially now. So let's put this, this, and this into our graveyard. No dredgers yet. Is this the game that we will win without dredging a single time? Only with zombies and poxogres? Okay, my opponent found Urza Saga. This is not red mana, so we are fine. Oh, Fury, because we have 2 bridges. Alright. I was casting Otherworldly Gaze in my main step, just to avoid something like Pyroblast? Some counterspell, Red Elemental Blast or something like that. Oh, my opponent messed up. My opponent messed up. Okay, we take it. My opponent needed to order those triggers in a way that Fury dies before hitting my Narcomoeba, but they ordered in the wrong way, and now we have 2 zombies. Alright, life's good. I will cast Otherworldly Gaze right now. Since we lost our bridges, this is better. Okay, nothing great here. Okay, we have zombies, of course, but my opponent will have constructs at some point. We don't want force anymore. I don't think I want this. And yeah, Cephalic Elysium is better than an average draw. So let's take Cephalic Elysium so we can do something similar to what we did playing Modern, cracking double Cephalic Elysium on turn 4. Otherworldly Gaze is a great card to find your lands. Even without Life from the Loam, usually we find whatever we need thanks to that. It's important to note that Ancient Tomb deals damage to my opponent, so maybe this game will be decided by damage, not by the combo. So if they activate here to have a blocker, yeah, maybe they don't even activate. I don't know what they have in their hand. We draw Underground Sea, which is awful. I believe we attack first, and then I cast Cabal Therapy targeting my opponent. Maybe my opponent block Poxwalkers and we have Threshold. Let's see. Yeah, they just let it go. They are already on 6 life. What? My opponent exiled a Goblin Engineer. So I will name another one, because this is one of their best cards in their deck. So this makes me think that they have another one. Oh, they have double Engineer. Haha, hit it, jackpot. And a Goblin Welder and a Pyroblast. This is what I was talking about. So I played around Pyroblast and I found a Fury, unfortunately. Now it's time to cast Cabal Therapy from my graveyard. But before that, let's cast my second Cabal Therapy from hand. Let's strip my opponent's hand. So now they have Pyroblast and Goblin Welder. I will take Goblin Welder. Yeah. And now I'll crack my Cephalic Elysium because maybe we can find a third bridge from below before casting. Yeah, no bridges, but those are good cards. So Ichorid, Grave Troll, and Narcomoeba can be discarded. And I will take Pyroblast. Do I take Pyroblast right now? I will do take Pyroblast right now because my opponent will probably have Graveyard Hate here. Maybe they don't because they are already facing lethal. And this Grief can be cast from our hand next turn. So Pyroblast. This is why I'm using Grief instead of Force of Will, because now we have 4 dual lands in our deck instead of 2 or 3. So yeah, that's it. My opponent is facing lethal. They need something. They don't have any cards in their hand. That Cabal Therapy was a great hit. Yeah, they chose to not activate Ancient Tomb. I pressed F6. Okay, my opponent conceded. Ooh, we won our first match. Not because of the frogs or because of the imps, because this is not a match for them, but this was a great win. I will not do a single stop here. I will go right into round number 2. Let's go. And guys, this will be our last match of this evening. I will play another one because I want to see some frog action before going to sleep. But I hope you enjoyed this with me. Please stay a little bit more because we'll have a great match, I believe. And not against Painter, maybe another archetype. Let's see who will be our opponent. Adam told something here. Did you say you were playing Modern earlier with the Coliseum? How did it go? Adam, it was actually good. The final result was so-so, was a 2-3, but we had some tough matchups at the beginning, and this will be available recorded here on the channel after I stopped, so you can watch later. It was my initiation playing Modern because I'm not a Modern player, I'm a Legacy player, so we had many Modern players here talking with me, telling me some tips and ways to get better as a Modern player. It was really nice and fun, and Cephalic Coliseum adds a new layer to Modern because we had many opportunities to activate it at instant speed for some good effect. So it is a highly recommended card for Dredge, of course, but now we need to find the best build. Okay, we are playing against Matthias Hardstyle. And we are on the play again, that's good. Okay, we have some action here. We have Imps and we have Gaze. And we have 3 lands. I'll keep this, because this is what our deck wants to do. But this is not the best hand. I'll just keep in that, because I want to play some Imps before going to sleep. My opponent usually plays something like mono red Prison. Sometimes they play other decks, but their deck of choice, if I remember correctly, was Mono Red Prison. And let's crack it. Oh, let me adjust here again. Something. Oh, it's because my camera is larger than usual. Okay, but yeah, no, let's keep it like this. Fine. It's our last match. It's already what it is, right? So I'll cast Sputtered Imp. It resolves. Yeah, Adam, and now I want to keep playing Modern. Thoughtseize, okay, you can take my second Imp or my Otherworldly Gaze. But this is not, those are not good hits for your Thoughtseize. Or you can take the Imp. Maybe you can take the Imp. No? Okay, so let's remember to discard our Stink with Imp on our upkeep. Just to cultivate a good habit, right? Because this is the best thing we can do. Okay, we have Narcomoeba. I don't need to do anything at instant speed because this is not Modern. We don't have Pressed Amalgams. And now we have Cabal Therapy. I will definitely cast this Otherworldly Gaze before my opponent can do something. Now my Imp cannot block anymore, but it cannot be hit by a single Orcish Bowmasters. So this is a white-black deck, so part of me wants to cast this Cabal Therapy to see if my opponent play Reanimate or Doughty Voidwalker. But let's cast Otherworldly Gaze first. Maybe we hit a bridge from below. No, but we have great cards for our next turn, unless my opponent have something huge. Okay, we already have one Dredger. I'll keep Cephalic Coliseum on top, and then Careful Study on top of the top. And now I will attack with Butcher Dream. And now I can cast this Cabal Therapy, naming Orcish Bowmasters, Doughty Voidwalker, Reanimate, Source to Plowshares. All of those are good hits. Since I don't mind that my opponent hit me with Source to Plowshares, and I'm always afraid of Doughty Voidwalker because people online target me as a Dredge player, so my opponent had a mulligan and they kept 6. So I will name Doughty Voidwalker here. Even if this is not something that my opponent plays, I'm not sure, but yeah, we will have a pick and maybe discard something. Yeah, Doughty Voidwalker, you see? Yeah, how did I know it? How did I know that? Yeah, how? Yeah? Experience, my friend, experience. I'm talking from experience. I know my people. I know my opponents too well. Alright. My opponent plays Wasteland. And another thought is, yeah? Take the Stink with Imp, maybe? Maybe? Yeah, the Cabal Therapies are hitting tonight. Alright, so we have great hits on top. I will keep Careful Study. And then I will cast Careful Study. My opponents don't have anything. I will draw my first card, which is Cephalic Coliseum. And then I will dredge 4. Oh, I should have this card Stink with Imp. This was a punt. This was one less dredger. I'm not used to play with Butcher Imp anymore, and I'm kind of tired. But yeah, this is not an excuse. Let's discard 2 dredgers and play Cephalic Coliseum and crack it. And my first Cabal Therapy, the first Cabal Therapy we hit will make my opponent really sad. Cabal Therapy, right there. Yeah. And we'll discard the 3 cards. We can attack first, just to be a good player. Let's send a message. But this is not a message of peace. And now we cast this Cabal Therapy, naming Opposition Agent. And it's good to know that my opponent plays Opposition Agent, so we can be careful on games 2 and 3. Opposition Agent. My keyboard is far from me. Alright, my opponent has an useless Ephemerate, and we are good to go. How many Icorids? Oh, we are playing with only a single Icorid, but we don't have an Icorid here. We have Boxwalkers. My opponent will probably concede here. Ooh, okay, doing a good job so far. Now what? Do my opponent play with Leyline of the Void? Even if they don't, bounce spells are good against Doughty Voidwalker, and Force of Will are also good. Not so great against the Thoughtseize deck, right? But yeah, maybe Force of Will is not that reliable, but I prefer Force of Will instead of Grief in this matchup. I think all of this is really new. And this is something that we are testing against the Doughty Voidwalker deck, right? So Butcher Dream, Psychic Frog, those are good cards, but my opponent also plays with white. So they have white removal spells. And this is something to remember. I don't think Force of Will is that good, actually. Let's take the double pitch spells to include some bounce spells. I have only 3 bounce spells here. Oh, Gibbons is telling me that they have Surgicals. My experience with them is with Leyline, but with other decks, right? So, that's why I was thinking about Leyline. If they have Surgicals, okay, I'll take your word here instead of my memories, because I'm already tired. So let's include Force of Will, since they may have Surgicals, but also they have Thoughtseize. So if they have a sequence of Thoughtseize, Doughty Voidwalker, Surgical Extraction, it is what it is. At least we have some flyer threats. And that's it. Let's keep it. Let's keep it, not let's submit. Let's keep it. This is not a mulligan situation. And now we had a 2 frog hand, but we cannot keep it. Mulligan. Okay, my opponent kept 7. This is a keep because this is good against a single Thoughtseize. But we are on the draw and we are not so fast on the draw. But I will keep it, of course. I will put 1 bridge. 1 bridge back, yeah. And my opponent is a wasteland deck, so that is something to remember. Do they also play Dark Ritual? Because opposition agent, right? They can have Dark Ritual. So we start with careful study here. We could go for a blind Doubt Voidwalker, right? We could go. Is this Orcish Bowmasters? No? Okay, we'll discard no lands, unfortunately. We'll discard Dredger and Dredger. And pass. Oh, thank you. Thank you for reminding me to stay. Oh, I don't have any water anymore. So let's pass here. I just want to see what my opponent will do. Yeah, and I'm not used to do live streams. So yeah, thanks for your reminder to stay hydrated. Okay, this is a Doubt Voidwalker, I believe it is. Yeah. So now I have a natural draw. It is a land. It isn't. But I will. We probably cannot race a Doughty here unless my opponent don't have anything else. But I bet my opponent have many other stuff. So I'll cast Careful Study here. Let's try to see a bit more of my opponent's deck. I will not Dredge. Okay, Psychic Frog is excellent. I need a land. Land. We found a land. So let's discard what we cannot hit our opponent with. So this, I'll play Imp this turn and Psychic Frog next turn, and Narcomoeba is just a 1/1, but it flies. I'm not sure if my opponent plays with Orcish Bowmasters, but the Woodley Gaze is good. I need to discard 2 cards. Let's high roll this. I will discard Narcomoeba and other Woodley Gaze. Yeah, frog! Frog, Marcelo, frog. Reggae. Reggae. So, Underground Sea. And what to drink? 1/1 flyer, let's go! I need to drink some water, but I cannot leave my chair. I feel like if I leave my chair, my opponent will win the game. Okay, they have Swords to Plowshares, better on Imp than on Frog. What else? What else do you have, opponent? Reanimate on throw. Alright. So guys, okay, this is game over, right? So I will concede. I will have a sip of water. And let me know your thoughts about sideboarding here. Just a few seconds. Now what? Force of Will. Grief. My opponent plays with Reanimate. Line of the Void. This is a hard matchup. We won our first game, but this is hard. On the play, or Imp and Frog combination or combo or flying creatures maybe are better than on the draw. But I don't want to hold forces on the play against this deck. I prefer to be more proactive. And Griff is a card that we can cast from our hand easier here than with other Dredge builds that I built before, because now we have 4 Underground Seas and even a 15th land here in Synchronity Stupor. Yeah, no changes. No changes. No fear. No fear. And hope for the best. Guys, I'm really enjoying this live stream. I'm not sure if I want to do this on a weekly basis, but if I have good responses from the community, this is something that I can start doing more frequently. Okay, this is great. This is great. We need one more land, so this hand is really good. Yeah. So I'll keep this. I can... Do I... Okay, I'll keep this. But I'm not sure what to exile to Grief. My opponent also kept 7. And I don't think I want to resolve Careful Study and then cast Grief. Maybe I do, because I can discard 2 Dredgers, and if my opponent has a Surgical Extraction, this... yeah, I agree, Gibbous. I think the better configuration, especially on the play, is just the main deck from game 1. So I think I will Careful Study first. My opponent don't play counter spells, so let's cast this first. Okay, we have great Dredgers, but I will not put 2 Grave Trolls. I will put 2, 1 of each, because if my opponent play with Surgical Extraction, this is wiser, right? And now I'll cast Grief. Unfortunately, we couldn't hit our second land. So this is an Exiling Thug situation. The worst thing for me here is just to see in my opponent's hand... Yeah, they have Surgical. See in my opponent's hand Doubtful Walker plus Reanimate. If they have this... exactly this. It's like the scam package, right? Sometimes the player has a Grief plus Reanimation spell, and it is what it is. I hope to not see Doubtful Walker plus Reanimation spell here. Oh, thanks, Marcelo. Thanks. Okay, double Solitude, Dark Ritual, and Plague Engineer. Do I take Dark Ritual or Plague Engineer? Solitude is a card that I can play around. So I will not celebrate here, because I'm not sure even if I will Dredge next turn. Only having natural Dredge is not good enough to win these days. And it hits me here, because we need to draw something else, unfortunately. Dark Ritual or Plague Engineer? Probably Plague Engineer, right? Let them have the mana and take Engineer. And pass a turn. I was hoping to draw at least 1 land. So let's draw instead of Dredge. Do I, guys? Or maybe I Dredge first and then I try to draw later if I didn't hit anything here. Yeah, let's Dredge first. Okay. Yeah, that's good because we had no good cards on top. Yes, I would like to have a single Narcomoeba, please. Maybe my opponent wants to Solitude my Narcomoeba. Maybe. Vindication. Okay, a second Swamp for my opponent. And that's it. And now I have no choice. I need to draw. I don't have a choice. So yeah, it's better for my consciousness here, just to have a natural draw because I don't have any choice. Not because I did the wrong choice, it's just because I had no choice. Okay, Dark Ritual. So they have something. It's a Grief? Grief, alright. Pick the imp. Pick the imp. Here, pick the imp. Oh, the frog. Alright. So let's draw. Land. Yeah. Alright, my frog. Tonight is not your night, unfortunately. Let's attack our opponent, dealing 1 damage. Now this is a race. My opponent has double Solitude. And soon they will have mana to cast each one of them. This will be a Scrubland. It's our turn and we draw Ichorid. I don't think we want you, my little horror. 3 Psychic Frogs in our graveyard. Okay, my opponent found their 4th land. They are having a great time drawing their land. Alright. And now? Let's dream. Okay. It is a clock, and it is a way to discard our cards. This Ichorid can do a great deal of damage, but of course my opponent will have Solitude, right? The question is if they will... they don't know about Ichorid, they know about the other cards. Alright. So let's see if they will try to hit this Putrid Imp immediately, or maybe next turn. Yeah, we don't. Yo, they will try to hit Imp immediately. Okay, Solitude. So double elementals. This is so Modern Horizons 2, right? This is so Modern Horizons 2. Where are the Modern Horizons 3 cards? Answer: in my graveyard. Okay, my opponent will hit Imp. And in response, I will discard my hand. Foxwalkers. Liquid Imp. And Ichorid. My opponent's last card is a Solitude. Do you guys think that Modern Horizons 2 was stronger with the broken cards more than Modern Horizons 3? In Modern Horizons 3 you have something like Necrodominance and other broken cards. But oh, Surgical Extraction, really? Do you think you need that? I don't think you need that. My opponent now has a lifelink creature. We have only Golgari Thug as our Dredger. So yeah, this Ichorid is coming back. We can exile a frog. And Cephalic Coliseum. So let's attack first. Maybe we can draw 3, reach from below, and have some zombies. What do you think? Huh? It's always a possibility. So let's draw. Cephalic Coliseum is the start of this night. 2 bridges! What did I told you? Told you so. Told you so. Let's take this Solitude. Exiling, sacrificing Narcomoeba. Right? because a 1/1 flying will not, but 2/2 zombie is better than a 1/1 flying. And let's take their last Solitude. Never give up, guys. Never give up. We can still win this game. It will be hard, but we can still win. Solitude. Without dredgers. Only hope. No dredgers, only hope. Okay, now we have 4 zombies and a poxwalkers. And this Ichorid will come back 3 more times. We have 3 black creatures in our graveyard. Yeah, you think Modern Horizons 2 was incredibly top heavy in power with busted rares and mythics. I agree, but not so much in commons and uncommon. And the third version feels like its power is more evenly distributed. I agree with you. Totally agree. My opponent is thinking here, they will attack me. Oh, they don't have those Solitudes. Okay, let's pay attention because we really can win this. I'm not sure if I block Solitude here if they attack. It's important to note that my opponent has many removal spells. They already used 2 Solitudes. They had a Plague Engineer. They don't have, I think, Reanimate in their hand because they had great things to reanimate. So they probably has a blank or a flash creature like Opposition Agent, something like that. So let's bring back this Ichorid and draw another land. Land is good at this stage of the game. Maybe at some point I can cast something from my hand. So, do we attack or not? Let's think for a moment. If I attack with Ichorid, my opponent will definitely block just to exile my bridges. So I can attack with everyone. If I attack with Ichorid, I attack with everyone. My opponent will block probably a zombie token, winning 3 more life with Solitude. So they can go up to 15. And this Grief can also block something maybe. They will 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I need to attack. But other choice here was just to wait 1 more turn to have more 2 zombies, since my opponent chose to not attack, and have lethal next turn for sure. You think I just sit back? I'm just... My opponent has Source of Plowshares. My opponent sooner or later will draw Doughty Voidwalker. I'm not sure if I can wait here, you know? If I just wait here making more zombies, it is something that I can do for a single turn. And then I cannot do this again. I can maybe do this a single turn and don't do anymore. Because if I do this turn, I will have 4, 6 zombies, 12, 18 power. My opponent go up to 15 if they have nothing. But this is not a blue deck. They don't have Force of Will. They don't have blank spells. Every spell is important, except Dark Ritual. So I'm not sure if I can wait. I will not wait. I will not wait. I will follow my gut here. I will not wait. I will attack. One thing that my opponent can do is not block with Solitude. Block only with Grief. 6, more 6, but then they die. They need to block with Solitude to stay in the game. So yeah, let's attack. Oh, they block with both? That's actually good for me, to me. Okay. Oh, they have something, right? Oh, Touch the Spirit Realm. Okay, this is a blowout. Okay, now they have 3. And then their Solitude will enter to exile my Ichorid or Poxwalkers. Yeah, so you see, if I didn't attack, my opponent will just exile my Ichorid and I got nothing. Yeah, I believe it was the right choice to attack. Because my opponent will do this exactly same thing, just exiling my Ichorid. I will not have extra zombies, and my opponent would be still at 12 life. Yeah, so that's fine. Now it's our turn again. My opponent draws something. We have an Arcomoeba that we can cast. And we can attack again. Let's push some damage. Can we win this after double surgical or dredgers? Okay, my opponent will block. And we won! That's amazing! We won! 8 pink dredge deck. Alright. Unfortunately, Psychic Frog was just Ichorid food in this matchup. But we won! We won! We won! Legacy is amazing. Guys, I need to sleep, unfortunately. I will not. I will finish this league tomorrow because I am super tired. I have a class early in the morning. So I hope you enjoyed this with me. If you are not subscribed to the channel, click the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below as soon as I end this stream. Because now I can answer your questions after this. Okay? See you soon. Hope you enjoyed this. I had a blast here with you tonight playing Modern. Who knows? Maybe I am a Modern magician from now on. See you guys. See you later. Bye.